Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat. We've episode 17. Episode 17.
17.
Is this thing on?
Can't believe it.
And we're a little earlier today because the English are dominating the Americans today. We've got Alex here from Alex Unabridged. Say hello, Alex.
Hello.
We keep forgetting to do it as a surprise. What's wrong with us?
Oh, yeah. Surprise. We'll get Alex to talk about his channel in a minute, but I absolutely love Alex's channel. I watch it all the time, and he's one of the ones I go to. Like when I get in from work, I'll search for a few of my favorites first before I go anywhere else. And Alex is like, always there a new one from Alex today. So yeah. Dave's just which is true. We are. That's interesting. So I try and avoid my thumb bit, my finger. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm going to do this. Oh yeah, right. I think I've just fixed that problem. Yes, nice. Okay, so we'll just get these hellos in, and then we'll get Alex to talk. So Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Heidi.
Dave's telling us off.
Yeah.
You're gonna roll your eyes, Dave, but have read your email, but not actually replied yet. So he says at the bottom, "Don't read this and not reply." So I'm going to reply to him at some point. Alex, tell us about your channel.
What do you want to know, really?
So why did you call it Alex Unhinged?
Alex Unhinged. Certainly, I went for Alex Unabridged because, as you might have gathered from watching it, I'm reasonably wordy. But yeah, I decided I needed to kick it off. It was last January, like January 2023. Got inspired by watching everybody on here, really, and just kind of started it, and then have not wanted to stop since. I'd love to be making stuff like going out, every day, but time is a factor. But yeah, it's kind of grown sort of steadily. Still got a sort of a nice little sort of viewer base, but everybody's kind of so friendly, and it's just kind of really nice to have that community, and I've met plenty of lovely people through it. And yeah, I'm just kind of it's made me read a lot more different stuff. I've started to focus much more on science fiction this year, as well as horror, and kind of just broadening the stuff that I read and talk about and stuff. And yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Your channel's grown a lot though, hasn't it? Because you haven't done it for that long, and you've got a lot of subs, haven't you?
Not that many. About well, I say not that many. A lot to me, but comparably, I guess with some other folks, I'm about 350.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it grew quite quickly last year, and then it's been quite it's quite a sort of a lower level of growth this year. But it's more the quality, I think, of the interactions and the relationships I have with subscribers. It's like I've met far many more people that I would consider friends through it. It's like it's a reasonably small number comparably to a lot of folks, but I do feel like it's a really good, solid little community of folks as well, though. Yeah,
that's really cool. We can address the English thing in this right now, because Heidi has just said Alex sounds different from Gareth.
Yeah.
Come on, please.
We timed it for the dogs at the time when the dogs go mental. Is that what we've done?
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm from up north, northwest. Although I'm originally from northeast, so I got a mixed generic northern, as my missus would call it. She's a southerner. But yeah, I'm from the north, near Manchester.
So northeast. Where were you from originally?
Near Hull.
Oh, okay.
That sort of side, Grimsby, Hull.
Yeah.
Sort of area.
Is Hull nice?
I like it.
Yeah, I've never been. I'd like to go. Well, I'd like to go up there. I've never been that far. Well, I've been to Scotland, but I've never been that far up England.
Yeah,
So
it's
I've skipped.
it gets a bad rep, Hull does, because it's quite what's the right word? I mean, it was very impoverished for a while. It used to be quite run down, but they had City of Culture not that long ago, and it's really come up. But I was a student there for years as well. And It's a really friendly place, really lovely place to be a student, particularly.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on, Dave.
No, I was just going to ask you where you're at now again.
At Manchester, just outside of Manchester.
You're in Manchester, just outside Manchester.
Not in the city, kind of in the countryside outside. So actually on the edge of a national park.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Which national park?
Is it
Peak District?
Oh, the Peak District.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot to do in Manchester, is there?
Loads to do in Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, besides football.
Oh, football.
Dave, you know that Manchester is one of the biggest cities in the country, right?
Yeah, it's like the second sort of. It's the capital of the north. After London, it's probably your most sort of vibrant city.
Yeah, but do tourists really go there much?
Yeah,
you do get some tourism, yeah, but it's more kind of it more be for things like arts and culture and stuff like that. So it tends to be it's quite a lot of museums, quite a lot of arts festivals, theatre. It's got a big theatre base, that kind of stuff. It's kind of more tourism from probably within the UK than from outside, but we do get tourism, yeah.
Not like so it's more like modern art and culture stuff, not like so much historical sites.
Yes,
like
it's
London.
Modern. It's absolutely modern. And I mean, Manchester itself has got a long history of socialism and sort of Labour politics, and that is a very very left wing city. It's kind of it was one of the ones at the forefront of sort of the LGBTQ sort of rights movements, and it continues to be just a really lovely, open, accepting, very forward-thinking city. So it's as I say, it's like it's really artistically open as well. As it kind of puts a high sort of puts a premium on that kind of stuff and like inclusivity and stuff like that. It's a really good place to live. I used to live in the city and work in the city, but yeah, it's a vibrant city. It keeps growing as well. It's like so much more sort of development on it as well. So it's definitely growing in terms of like museums and trying to get people into the city and things like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have biggest bookshop in the northwest as well. So
you got the biggest.
Really?
Biggest? Yeah. Which one's the biggest?
In the north of England, actually. Yeah, in the north of England.
Which one's that?
It's the Waterstones.
Oh, you got the biggest Waterstones.
Wow. It's massive.
Cool.
You gotta make a trip up there.
One, but it's huge. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I would have been in the Waterstones Manchester. I wouldn't have realised it was the biggest one in the north.
In the north, I think.
In the north. But I went to Manchester last year for we had an anniversary trip around. We went to Liverpool again, and we were like, well, because we're in Liverpool, let's go to Manchester as well. And then we went up to York as well.
Oh, I love York.
Yeah, we loved York. It was really nice. Manchester was a bit of a disappointment, but I think that's mostly because we decided to splash out on a big expensive meal and it was awful. Never buy. Well, actually, we had vouchers and stuff, but definitely never pay for a meal that a hotel tells you is an £80 meal. It was just ridiculous. It was like really posh and like it was you can't hardly see it on the plate. And I didn't even know what I was eating. It was horrible. But
Manchester's not known for its kind of highfalutin kind of stuff. It's known for its underground backstreet burger joints. That's where you're going to get a good meal.
Yeah. But Liverpool, I've been to Liverpool twice. I love Liverpool, so I need to go back to Manchester again so it can sell itself to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you need Alex to give you like a page of notes on where to go and Sounds like you went to
Yeah.
the wrong place.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let me know when
We,
you're up, I'll give you a tour.
yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, we could to meet up. I mean, Manchester must be buzzing at the moment because of the Oasis news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you
Yeah.
know, Dave, but Oasis are
Yeah,
probably
they're touring again, right?
yeah, they've
They just
announced a
announced they're touring
reunion.
again.
Yeah,
So
and they're
they're
from
from
Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
yeah.
They're finally getting along again.
Say again?
They're getting along again.
Probably not, but they
Did
probably
they ever?
they probably think it's worth getting the money out of it. But I expect they're not getting along. But yeah, there's a few big bands that have come out of Manchester. It's got a really big musical history, Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can hear it as well in the voices. Manchester accent's very distinctive.
Yeah.
This one here is jumping the gun on the biscuits. You get to take it easy, man. It's very aggressive today.
Right, let's get a couple of questions from. We've got Heidi says, "Is Alex's channel horror books centric?" Just did a quick look.
It was, but it is now horror and science fiction shared because I found the joys of science fiction at the beginning of the year and I've gone a bit mad with it. But I do like the crossovers as well of science fiction and horror. Those are my favourites. But yeah, there's usually a fair amount of horror.
You keep picking some of my favourite books to look at in your investigation into science fiction, and I'm always like, "Oh, what's he going to say?"
To thank for that, Mr. Troy Tradup, because he was the one who came up with the original list for me in an email. Because I asked him for help on where should I start, and he sent me this massive email with all these categories in it.
Oh, that's good.
And the email was just titled "Science Fiction for the Somewhat Hesitant," which is what the series has become. And then I added in my own as well. I decided I'd add in some that I'd heard of that I fancied, so I added those in as well. But yeah, there's some cracking stuff in there.
What are a couple of your favorites?
So far, I really liked Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke.
Okay.
That was my first Clarke. Let me think. I've just read Who Goes There, which I loved absolutely. I mean, I loved The Thing anyway, the film, but that's one of my favorite films. But I absolutely adored the short story. 2001, more Clarke. What else? I'm just about to finish actually The Body Snatchers.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
and that is like absolutely floored me. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So far, yeah, I read. I mean, it's right here. I've got like 40 pages left on it, and I started it last night, and I had to stop at 40 pages left just because I was going to fall asleep, and I wanted to give it the proper attention it deserved. But I just devoured it in one sitting last night. It was ridiculous. So things like that. But yeah, there's been so much stuff. I mean, I was surprised that I liked Foundation as much as I did because I didn't expect to like that. Yeah. And want to kind of get into the sort of the scale of that whole universe and the lore. I really love that side of things. So yeah, there's been very little, to be honest, that I've disliked in it. There's not been much that I've kind of really not got on with.
I need to read more of the Foundations. I just read the first 3, but I have like a bunch more of them that I need to get to. You read those, Gareth?
I've read bits of Asimov and didn't really get on with his style. So one of my missions, I don't know if you noticed me say it a little while ago, but I'm going to do my favorite science fiction books, like a top 40 or something. But I've decided I'm not going to do that until I've read some fundamental kind of basic things like iRobot and a few others like Canterbury for Leibowitz as well, and a couple of others I haven't read yet. So
I got to read that one too. You want buddy read that one?
Yeah.
we keep saying that. Before we get off tonight, we got to go through the list of the imminent buddy reads because we've got a few I think that we're about to do. But I've been meaning to read Canticle for Leibowitz too. I have it, and I've been meaning to read it. So,
there's just a few books that if I did a list of top 40 now, people were bound to comment and go, well, why the hell didn't you include blah blah blah? And I'd be like, well, because I haven't read that one. So if there's a good probably a dozen, maybe half dozen, I don't know, that might be a bit generous, maybe at least half a dozen books that are fundamental that I haven't read yet, even though I've been reading science fiction all my life. So yeah, I've just I don't know, I think I've avoided Cannibal for Leibowitz because I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I want to read it. And there's a couple of others like that. I can't think of what they are, but there's a couple of others like that as well. I mean, we didn't get on very well with Female Man, did we?
Well, at least you went back and finished it, right?
Yeah, and it's just the way it's written. It's clearly got a good point to make, but it's just I just don't like the way it's written. Did you read Flowers for Algernon, Alex?
Not yet. No, I've got it. I picked it up in a second-hand shop recently. I just saw it and went, "Yep, I'll get that." That can sit on the
you might have mentioned that you got it, maybe. Yeah,
I bought it. I just haven't got to it yet. I might get to it this year, but I've this project of mine is already spanning into next year and probably 2026. I've already got the schedule written down for next year, which has got Canticle for Leibowitz on it amongst some of the other biggies, the ones that I didn't feel capable of tackling until I'd got my grounding. So I think that even things like June next year and Red Mars, some
Red Mars,
Kim Stanley Robinson, Hyperion. That's all
Hyperion's
on that
really
kind
good
of side of things over next year. But no, I think I'll probably put Flowers for Algernon into next year's schedule as one of the sort of less hefty things.
Yeah, it's lighter, but I think it's incredible. But it is lighter, definitely. It's not hard
shorter, certainly. I was going to say some of the others I've got are like,
but it packs a punch. It's a very emotional read, I think.
I like. I mean, I do like short, but powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So if I don't get to it this year, I'll certainly get to it sort of early on next year.
Yeah.
Isn't that your favorite, Gareth? That's your favorite one,
right? I've got well, two books really that I call my favorite. That one and I Am Legend. Those are the two that I often say are my favorite books. Yeah, and it feels weird saying one without the other one, but yeah, they are clear divisions. I absolutely love it. I think it's really what I love about it. It won't really be a spoiler, but what I love about it is the way it's written, as in the text itself, the punctuation and the spelling is part of the storytelling.
Yeah.
I think that's really clever.
I know a little bit about it already. So kind of, and that's kind of one thing that made me kind of go, "Oh yeah, I need to read this."
Yeah, it's really good. Have you read that, Dave?
I haven't. No.
Oh man. Yeah. Right, we'll do some comments and then we'll talk about biscuits. Yeah. So Dave's halfway between the two of us. So what does that mean? Bristol?
Midlands?
Yeah, Midlands. Yeah, Midlands. I see what you did there. It's funny when they give their names to these things, isn't it? I live in Southsea. You're up north. Midlands makes sense. Horror Gardener says my family's from Dundee. Ah, cool. Yeah, I haven't been to Dundee. I've been to Edinburgh, but I want to go back because I can't remember it. I went about 30 years ago. But that's the only time I've been to Scotland. Have you been to Scotland, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Edinburgh several times for the festival, both as a taking something up there with theatre stuff, and then as a visitor myself, and then I've been to kind of the wilder areas, less of the cities.
The rural areas.
Very rural.
Yeah. Here there be tigers.
Yeah.
He says, in my Hermit book, he's from Devonshire but lived in the wilderness near a loch in Scotland. Oh, that's the one that Heidi was talking about before, isn't it? I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about the Hermit. I think one of our guests was reading it as well. I can't remember when this was. Don't know. I don't remember anything that we say. As soon as the show's over, I said, I've forgotten everything. I've forgotten your name, Dave. Heidi, I love Charlotte's End. Charlotte's End is really, really good, though, isn't it? Please read Deathstalker.
Okay.
Oh wow, Heidi's having a dig. Dave, we are not picking up anything she's recommending.
I actually don't even remember Deathstalker. I don't know if I wrote it down here.
The last thing that Heidi recommended, I think it was Heidi. It was like a crime thriller. I keep putting it in eBay, and it's quite cheap, and I need to do it. But our eBay accounts disappeared. That's a whole nother story. But yeah,
what?
Yeah, it was hacked, and now we can't get back into it.
Huh?
And I bought loads. I always buy books from eBay, like £3. You know, I love buying books from eBay. So yeah, it's a bit crap.
Right, I put Deathstalker into my to read list.
There you go.
There you go,
maybe you can impress Heidi more than we do. This is Peter Watts, Beyond the Rift. I really want to read Blindsight. You've read that, Dave, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, this is
sorry. What'd you say, Alex?
Yeah, I've not read Blindsight. No, it's another one that's on the list for next year.
Yeah, but this looks like it's the story of the Thing told from the point of view of the Thing.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, excellent.
That's interesting. I've got a book by Adam Roberts that riffs on the Thing called This Thing, I think it's called. But it's apparently set in the same kind of situation, but it's a much more philosophical book. Flowers for Aslan is too good to put off for almost anything. There we go. That's what Dave says. Dave's in Peterborough.
Peterborough. Okay.
Yeah. Have I been to Peterborough? I can't remember if I've been to Peterborough or not. As you should dip your toe into grim dark.
I am just dipping my toe in, but in a very measured way in terms of I'm going in through Warhammer.
Warhammer books. Is that the Garb August?
It's because Andrew from It Came From the Page is always talking about Warhammer books, and I like them. I've always liked the miniatures. I've always liked the idea of building the miniatures and painting the miniatures. And so I just kind of thought, well, why don't I try some of it? Why don't I look into this and try a couple of the books? And so I've just just finished reading the first one in July, and loved it. So I'm going to try some more grimdark outside of Warhammer, because I think, that's probably my jam.
Cool.
Certainly when it comes to fantasy, because I don't do well with fantasy generally. Not experienced a huge amount of success with fantasy on the whole. Certainly not high fantasy stuff. So I'm gonna go in for the grittier, darker stuff, I think, and that's probably where I'll find my niche.
Have you read the Joe Abercrombie stuff?
I tried a while ago, but couldn't get into it.
Yeah, the first one
Great Game of Thrones as well, and I've tried a few bits and pieces. I've tried Game of Thrones series. I've tried a few bits that's kind of on the grimdark side, but just couldn't get into it. But it's a while since I've tried, so
yeah. I actually bought a few Warhammer books, literally to read for Garb August, and they were down the road really cheap. It was like £3 for £1. So yeah, really cheap. But my charity shop down the road is so good for the prices. There's literally free paperbacks for £1 or 50p each, which is nothing, is it? But you don't always find stuff. But yeah, although they've gone a bit mad, like the last few days, they've just covered all the books with little knickknacks. And there's got this old woman going, "Oh, you can't even see the books, can you?" And I was like, "No, you can't. What are you doing?" Like putting all the bits and bobs in front of the books. This is very cool having that just down the road.
I've got a decent enough Oxfam bookshop in my local town.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm closer to Glossop, which is right on the edge of the Peak District, than I actually am to Manchester. It's like 5 minutes down the road, basically. And they've got decent deals on in there, but not a great sort of selection in terms of what I like. It's
right.
kind of, there's occasionally you pick up some great stuff. Like I found a science fiction collection in there which had I Have No Mouth in it.
Oh wow!
And this is before the new one came out, the new collection, released recently. And I've been trying to find that for ages to read it, and it was just there. It was just one of those that was just a collection of like Hugo Award winners or something. So I grabbed that. So you get gems, but they're rare.
Have you read that yet?
Yeah,
I Have No Mouth. It's crazy.
Brilliant. One of my favorite short stories.
Yeah. Oxfams. Why are Oxfams always better than every other charity shop in the world? What's that about?
I guess
it's just weird.
Money to put into them.
It's like people go, "This is a good book. I'm going to travel to another city to take it to Oxfam." So weird.
There's like a chain. There's a chain of charity shops.
It's a charity shop that does a lot of like Christian work around the world, like helping out in difficult areas, like helping poverty out and stuff. So it's a very good cause, and they're dotted around the country. But yeah, you go, if you see as an Oxfam, you're like, oh, I'll go in there, and you always find it's like going to a normal bookshop, but with the books obviously a lot older. But the selection's amazing. Whereas you go to a normal charity shop, it's a bit random what you find, but you're always going to get good stuff in Oxfam.
Yeah.
Huh.
I've got one.
There's an Oxfam in Brighton and there's one in Southampton. Those are my two closest ones, Brighton and Southampton.
There's a massive one in Manchester, but I just don't go into Manchester as often these days. Whereas Glossop, I go down there to get all my food shopping and stuff. So it's always the opportunity to go in the bookshop.
Yeah, yeah. Right, hold on. Let's have another look. So Heidi says Hellmouth by Giles Christian's another one.
Oh, and Annabella.
Yeah. I was writing down all the ones she wrote.
Yeah,
so
you write them down.
Get in trouble.
I never write anything down. I always think I'm going to look back on the comments, but I don't do that, don't I? So, I deserve to be shouted at. Debs is here. Hi, Debs. Nice to see
Debs.
you all.
Hey, Debs.
Oops.
She said hi.
That was hi. Dave says, I generally wouldn't go near Warhammer, but a couple of good... Sorry, I'm messing around. A couple of good writers I know well in that I published stories with both of them. L.A. Watson and Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds. I think I've got a couple of the Josh Reynolds one in my library waiting to be read. I've got a few sort of queued up.
Yeah, so he says they're really good. Deb said I've got 3 Oxfam bookshops in and around Nottingham. Nottingham. So that's another bit further out. I mean, it's not Nottingham's kind of quite doable for us.
Debs and I are actually quite close. Geographically, yeah, because I'm essentially on the edge of Derbyshire, which is the county over from Nottinghamshire. Yeah, it's like we're actually reasonably close, just over the hills, basically.
I'll do a meetup.
We should actually, yeah.
I'm not going to arrange a schedule for you, but that'd be cool.
No, that's
fine. Right. What biscuits have you got, Dave? We'll talk about Biscuit Gate with Alex in a minute, but
I got some strange ones today. I don't know if they're going to be any. What?
You got some strange ones.
Strange ones. I don't know if they'll be any good, but they were really different, so I figured I'd try them. These are sunflower butter cookies with roasted sunflower seeds.
Oh.
So, yeah. You ever have sunflower butter?
No.
No, I don't. I don't recognize sunflower butter.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. We have a lot of. All right, so you have peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
Over there, you probably call it jelly or something.
No, we call it peanut butter.
Oh, okay. Do you have the other butters over there? Because like we have other nut versions of.
Yeah, we have other nut butters.
You have like almond butter. Okay.
Yeah,
but not sunflower butter.
No. Is that connected to sunflower oil then? It must be, I suppose.
Is it full of sunflower oil? Is that what you said?
Well, the oil must be made from sunflower in the same way that those
Yeah, it must be.
Cookies are, I guess.
It must be. I got really into the almond butter a while because it was on years ago. It was on this like metabolism diet thing. I don't know if it really worked, but it taught you some good. I mean, it worked. I lost weight, but I don't know if it was because of a particular diet. I think it was just because it taught you some healthy habits. But one of the things was one of the main breakfast things was almond butter on toast. That was turned out to be
nice.
pretty healthy breakfast, and I got really into it. It was pretty tasty. I was into it for a while. I should have that again. All right, let's try one of these babies. Let you know. I don't know if you can have this. I have to look it up. I don't know if you can have this, Bubs. Sunflower
She's like,
seed
I
butter,
love our show. I get to eat biscuits.
Sugar, rice flour.
What was that, Alex?
I want it.
I don't know. We'll give you one of yours instead, okay? She's having her jerky treats tonight.
Oh, very nice.
You started early, but we'll give you another one. I'm gonna try the sunflower thing. Let's see how it goes. Drum roll.
No. Drums are at work. Is that right?
Tastes like sunflower seeds. Yeah, it's not that great. Maybe it's an acquired taste. We'll see.
Well, you said it was going to be strange.
No.
You a bit gutted?
I don't love it. I'm a little gutted.
Well, it's this chat has turned into a sad story.
I mean, I'll finish it, but
we got a backup. We got a backup biscuit.
No, I bet my daughters will like it. Cause my two older ones, they love healthy stuff. So these healthy cookies, I guess.
I don't think biscuits are supposed to be healthy.
No.
I've got.
Oh. What do you got?
I've got because I'm not going to eat them now, but I've got sensible biscuits that are like 40% off sugar and stuff like that, and I try not to eat them, but I've got them. But what I've got instead, I've got my favourites. Really, I think they're definitely one of my favourites. I've had them before on here. The Hobnobs Oaty Creams.
How many different flavors of Hobnobs you got over there?
Got these.
It's like every other week you got a different Hobnob.
There's quite a few, but there's only one that matters to me, and that's the chocolate hobnob.
The chocolate hobnobs. That's
the only one that I'm interested in. That's my favorite biscuit.
Yeah. I do a thing. Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've in about 2 weeks' time. There's going to be my first ever lesson with my new first years, and we always do like a icebreaker kind of thing. Get them to talk to each other, what their names are, and what the instrument they play, and all that sort of stuff. And I always say, can you tell everyone what your favorite biscuit is? And chocolate hobnobs come up a lot.
Yeah. I finally got for Alex. We got I have a British shop like right down the road. It's like 5 minutes away, and I didn't even know it was there until Erie told me on one of these live streams, or she emailed. I don't know. Anyway, she told me it was over there, so I went over there and got my first package of hobnobs.
Yay!
Because we don't have those like in the regular stores around here, So I think what were those ones out, Garrett, that I had? They were like chocolate oatmeal or something, right? Is there chocolate oatmeal hobnobs?
I think you got chocolate hobnobs, yeah.
Chocolate hobnobs, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful blend of oats and.
Yeah, but you've had that before, so
yeah, I've had it before, but just awesome. It's like it's so cool. If you're having a bad day, one bite of a hobnob can turn it around.
Those are not your wife's, right? You're allowed to eat those?
Yeah. No. She's in America still. She's been in America for 2 weeks.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she's in Minneapolis. Every 2 years she goes to Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for work?
No.
Oh.
It's I don't know how much I've said it on the channel, but she worships Prince. I'm not even going to say she likes Prince. She worships Prince. So every 2 years, her and her two friends go to Paisley Park repeatedly over the 2 weeks. So I mean, she wrote a book about him, so she did get. So that was pretty cool. She did get a published book about Prince.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Hold on, I can't get it.
That Alex, that sounds like that's dedication at the level of like if Prince were still alive and asked her out, like she'd drop Gareth like a hot potato.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be gone. Oh, he's still there.
This is the one that she wrote. So it's like it's kind of like an editing job because it's all basically stories of people that have seen him. Called The Day I Was There.
Oh wow,
that's very cool.
And it's got her name on the spine there. But yeah, it's a very good book actually. It is very good. You do get a sense of what he was like as a performer. So yeah, it is pretty cool. But yeah, that's what she does every 2 years.
Wow.
But
that's a fan.
Yeah. And she worked for the fan club as well when she was younger as well, before I met her.
Oh, okay.
So that was a long time ago. We've been married for 31 years.
So you've got what's she got for a week or something?
She went for 2 weeks. She's coming back the day before she's supposed to go back to work.
So you got like free range on the biscuits front in your house. Nobody to stop you.
Yeah, the food police aren't here.
Gareth, he spent one live stream. He spent the whole live stream fretting over whether he could. It was his wife's package of biscuits. Spent the whole live stream fretting over whether he could break into that bag or not. And
they look so nice.
Still keep his
really
life.
Nice.
Those were what, the Galaxy ones?
Yeah. They were Galaxy. They're like kind of what you would call cookies, like in America. They were like thick, like cookies, but with Galaxy chocolate all over it.
Yeah.
And it was nice because in the end, she said they belonged to our daughter who brought them round randomly and then just forgot to take them home. So I thought, right, well, if they're my daughters, I'll have them. So yeah, but you haven't got biscuits, have you, Alex?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, we haven't got any in. And in my defence, there was never a memo sent.
Yeah.
No one said it was. No one told me that it was a requirement of this live stream.
Gareth.
Otherwise, I would have endeavoured to get some sort of biscuit.
Yeah, we're maybe we're too arrogant, Dave. We're too arrogant. We assume people know these things.
We just assume everybody knows to bring biscuits.
I knew the biscuit. I knew biscuits were an important part for you, but I didn't realise it was, a rule.
You didn't realise that you would contribute. You thought it was just us waffling forever while you were like thinking, yeah, all right, but we're going to talk about something interesting at some point.
Yeah. For everybody watching, if you come on the show, you have to bring biscuits. For next time, Alex. You show up without biscuits next time.
Make sure I've got a selection of biscuits for next time.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's
one of them big selection boxes of Fox's biscuits or something posh.
Foxes are so good at making biscuits, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where are they? I've got a lot of biscuits in the house, Dave. It's got to be said. I nearly chose the Fox's little chocolate biscuits they do. There's like little wraparound things. They're lovely. But Foxes are so good. That's like my treat at Christmas. I mean, I used to buy a lot of them. I used to just go through them like mad. But now, because I can't, I have to do it slowly. Right, where are we? So we read that one. So Deb says I've got 3 Oxfam bookshops in. Oh no, we said that.
Yeah.
Dave thinks Oxfam ships all the good stuff to the bigger cities. I rarely find anything in the Peterborough one. Oh. Well, that's a shame. That's very unusual. I mean, I literally can't believe it's nice that you go in there and you go, where did they get this from? You get some really good things. Pat's here.
Hey, Pat.
Book chat with Pat. I
was thinking of Pat
because still recovering from her guest spot on this show, isn't she?
I was watching Alex's video, the last Garbogus one. He was talking about all the horror smut, And I was like, oh my God, it's like deja vu. It's like watching Pat again.
You don't start on her when she's not even a guest.
He started talking about how bad. Alex was talking about how bad some of it was. Like he couldn't even take it, you know. And,
yeah.
No, like yeah,
it was a little bit far for me.
Too far.
A little bit too extreme on the horror and the smoke for me.
Who's your? Well, actually, I'll do the questions, and I'll ask you. Give you a couple of minutes to think about it. I'll ask you who your favorite authors are, because there might be some people who don't watch your videos as much. So let's have a look. So Dave says Josh Reynolds lives in Sheffield. So this is back on the Warhammer authors. Lots of people saying hello. Is that Prince book published by Spurwood Books in Manchester? I have 2 Fair Book Convention books from them. They're based on the same concept. It is a similar concept. It's actually This Day in Music books. So I think the guy that started these, he did a Rolling Stones one and he did another one. I think, as far as I know, he came up with the idea of doing this sort of thing, but I don't know if the Fair Book Convention one was first. See, you might have left the chat already. Dave, what are you doing? Alex, who are your favourite authors? Alex, then we'll talk about what we're currently reading and stuff. Who are your favourite authors?
Favourite authors? God, that's a really difficult question these days because I've just discovered so many more that I love. It would have been easy 2 years ago. I'd have just gone Stephen King. Done. But now he's fighting for his top, his spot in even the sort of top 10 on a regular basis because I've just discovered so many others. Becky Chambers at the moment, I absolutely love. She's just, if I want a pick me up, Becky Chambers. If I want a bit of nice sort of gentle philosophy, thinky stuff, Becky Chambers. She's a great one. Angela Carter is another that I've read a few bits of now over the last couple of years, and just her writing is just another level. One of those that I can't say that I'm jealous of as somebody trying to write, because I know I would never even get close.
I'm jealous of all
somebody I think is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
In terms of her craft. So yeah, Carter. Let me think who else. Bradbury. What I've read of Bradbury, I've liked pretty much all of it.
I don't even know who that is. What is
Ray Bradbury?
Ray Bradbury.
Oh, Ray Bradbury. Yeah. Oh, I thought it's that Manchester accent.
I was going to say it's the accent, isn't it?
I thought he was saying Brad. I thought he said Bradbury.
My wife downstairs.
Bradbury. I like that.
When speaking of which, when we starting the Something Wicked with This Way Comes thing? I'm just checking. Did you do Dandelion Wine yet?
No, I've got I'm trying to do them in order, and I've done Fahrenheit 451 now, and I've done the video for that. That's all good. I'm halfway through the reread of Golden Apples of the Sun. There's going to be Dandelion Wine for definite, and I think The Day It Rained Forever is also around that time before Something Wicked This Way Comes. Okay. So there's basically 2 more in between.
Okay, well, tell me when you're going to start Dandelion Wine, because I'm going to read that too.
Oh, okay.
Right over there.
Yeah. That's a long time since I read that, but I know it's quite a pastoral, gentle, pretty kind of book from what I remember.
Yeah.
But he's got such a beautiful way of writing, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even read hardly any of the sort of full length stuff. It's been short stories that I've read mostly from Bradbury, but there is just something about his style and his voice, particularly, especially in short stories. I really like the tone of his stuff. Yeah,
like most of his stuff, short stories, to be fair.
Yeah,
because even Martian Chronicles is made up of short stories.
Yeah, which was a mixed bag for me, but then there were a few in there that were just like, again, they've shot to like my top short stories list.
Yeah,
like There Will Come Soft Rains, I absolutely love. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, the ones that really stood out kind of made up for any that I didn't particularly like, and it wasn't necessarily that the writing quality I felt was lower. It was just they weren't necessarily my cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those, but yeah, his just the feel of his stuff, I think, just kind of evokes. There's a darkness there, but there's a real kind of poetry to the prose as well. And it's really it's quite you can tell Bradbury, I think, when you read it. It's very much, he's got a unique voice.
Yeah, and you can see his influence as well sometimes, and because he's so unique, you can see the influence without someone actually being able to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
but you can still see that they're clearly fans of Bradbury.
Yeah.
I think you can see that Stephen King's a fan of Bradbury, but he doesn't write as poetically. But there's something about when he tries to describe stuff. As I say, tries to. I mean, he's a brilliant writer, but when he does describe stuff, there's that element to it, but it's not done. I don't know. There's like a nostalgia with Ray Bradbury, the way he writes reflectively all the time.
Yeah,
it's very clever. It's very different. But yeah, something we can. I can't wait to reread something. I've read it about 4 times, so when we do read Something Wicked This Way Comes, I'll be glowing about it on the channel. I haven't done a video just on that book yet, so that would be fun to do.
I haven't read either. I haven't read either one yet, so.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. So with Becky Chambers, I know you've read the Monk and Robot books because I know I've watched your videos on those.
Yeah.
And I think you might have done did you do a general one on Becky Chambers as well?
Yeah, I also read the first book in the Wayfarers series, and also the novella To Be Taught If Fortunate.
Yeah, because I was going to just double check with you how much of the Wayfarers series you'd read, because
just the one.
Right, because I do think it's interesting that I'm a big fan as well. I always expect to like what she does because I think she's so good, and the first one is absolutely amazing, quite rightly, and it to kind of set her up, didn't it? The second one is my favorite of the 4, and the third one I don't think is that good. The third one, and then the fourth one is kind of on a par with the first one, and like the fourth one's really good again. So I do think it's interesting that I'd love to know what people if you read the others, how you would put them all together.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to them. Like I'm kind of getting them out of the library to kind of when I've got a bit of space in the schedule. But I want to try and get sort of the series finished by sort of possibly the end of this year, but like maybe just into next year on that.
Yeah.
Well, especially while the first one's still fresh in my mind as well.
Yeah. Have you read much Becky Chambers, Dave? I can't remember.
Yeah, I read. Yeah, I read the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I didn't like it enough to continue on with the series.
Oh.
And, but then I'm like the only one that I know of. And then so I'm like, well, let me give her another chance with something else. So I tried To Be Taught If Fortunate. And same thing. I kind of, I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I don't know. I mean, she writes well. I mean, and they were neat stories. I don't know what it is. I just don't love her.
There is a bunch of people on who comment a lot on Moyd's channel that really don't like her. So I don't think it's universal. I think
no, it's not.
She's got a very gentle way of writing. I think some people don't like that.
There's almost. It's like there's almost a coziness. It's almost a cozy science fiction in some respects, but I really like the fact that some of the ideas, the questions that she's asking them in such a gentle way, and you can kind of take them or leave them. But I think some of the questions she does ask and how she asks them, and for me particularly, like the representation, the LGBTQIA+ representation. Particularly trans representation in her stuff is kind of that's a big factor of why I like them so much. But for me, it's just like she asks questions in such a gentle way that I just find myself thinking about these things for quite a long time without really realizing that I'm doing it, and that's always a good thing for me. It's something, you know, where my brain just clicks into something and goes off on one. I think that's what it is. She just sparks thought for me in a really nice kind of gentle, philosophizing kind of way, rather than the mind melty stuff, which I also love. But I have finite brain space for that.
Well, I think she's very inventive with things that are quite cliche. So, you know, she said before in interviews that she's a big Star Trek fan, and there are some things that I think are quite similar that you can say, oh, that's kind of a Star Trek-y concept, but she does something different with it, and like the way she makes up the aliens, I think, are quite interesting as well, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's all good. I mean, I do think, Dave, the second one might be worth trying because it is quite different to the others as well, because it's only about 2 characters and them trying to sort their shit out.
I'm not really into love stories though, so
no, it's not a love story. No, it's not like that. It's just one of them's an AI that's got to get used to having a body, and the other one is a kid that grew up being experimented on. So is that sort of thing.
Oh, they're not. I thought they get in a romantic relationship though. No.
Oh,
okay.
No, I don't think I'd like that. there's loads of comments here that I'll need to go back to comments for a minute.
Yeah, you better catch up, man.
Yeah. So Pat said, don't worry, we haven't scared her off. Deb says, Roy reads anything, describes his smutty books as squelchy. I love Roy. I've asked Roy to be up on here, but he's not a massive fan of live streams, so we've got to enjoy him in a non-live sense. Squelchy, that's brilliant. So Pat likes Becky Chambers as well. Jenny's here.
Yeah,
that's good. So nothing's going to go wrong now.
We went on without the producer, Jenny.
Yeah, we did mention you, Jenny. We're talking about the fact that Alex is from up north. So for people in America, Alex says bath, and I say bath, isn't it?
Yeah, bath, grass,
all that kind of grass. Stuff. Yeah.
Wait, Gareth, you say grass.
I say grass.
Alex?
Grass.
Again.
Grass.
Grass.
I hear it. Okay. Yeah. I hear a little bit, though. Not too much.
To us, that's like a mountain away, and you're going,
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife is from more kind of the southeast sort of Sussex kind of area, and she has a much more pronounced R to her bath.
Yeah,
kind of sounds. Yeah, you'd notice it more there, but yeah, it's to us. Yeah, it's worlds away.
Yeah. Well, and just to clarify that, Dave, Brighton is in Sussex.
Okay.
So just think of Alex's wife being from Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. She is pretty much. Yeah.
It's like landmarks. It's like that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this sort of thing is fascinating because until I started using the internet and talking to people on the internet, I didn't realize how fascinated I'd be by the whole USA, UK differences and stuff. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm always really interested in it. I speak to or at least message Troy quite a lot. We're quite good buddies off away from the camera and on BookTube comments and stuff, and just emails just between just back and forth and stuff, the difference in vocabulary, the way that we say stuff, all that kind of thing, it amuses both.
That's brilliant. Yeah. The most colloquial you are, the more differences you'll find, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah. I love that. I was going to say something, I've forgotten what it is. Anyway, Jenny says, sorry, Pat says, hi to Jenny. I want to read Bradbury's Greentown trilogy again. Yeah, that's Dandelion Wine, Something Wicked As It Comes, and Farewell Summer. I think I don't know, but I don't, because they're not really that connected. I think he said they were a trilogy once he was writing Farewell Summer. He kind of put them together, but I don't think he put them together before that. Do you know what I mean? because Something Wicked as It Becomes is definitely not related to Dandelion Wine in a real kind of plot sense, you know. So I think that's because they're all kind of meditations on age and stuff, I think, and nostalgia and stuff. Little love for Chambers in that house. Mediocre with stock characters. What?
All right, thanks, Dave.
Mediocre. At least he hasn't said she's not science fiction. I haven't said this publicly, but I think it's hilarious and stupid that the Outlaw bookseller says she's not even science fiction.
Huh.
Yeah, he calls himself an expert, and that's just stupid. Sorry, mate, but that's stupid. Ollie just reviewed a series today that he compared to Becky Chambers' Wayfarers. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Stockholm, but yeah,
I
haven't had a chance to watch that yet.
Yeah, I saw that he'd done it, and maybe go, oh, I should have read the first book by now because I've had it for ages. And
what's that about?
I don't know, but I was sold on the cover. I saw the cover. I was like, I'm buying that. But I can't remember what it's about.
Let me see here.
But yeah, Ollie's just done a video of the three of them because I think when I bought it, I can't remember what it's called, but when I bought it, there was only 1 hour at the time. That's how long I've had it. But there's a trilogy now. I do understand why writers keep writing in the same world, though. When people go, "Oh, why do they write a trilogy?" Because you end up really getting a lot of affection for the characters and stuff, don't you? So I do get why they do it. I don't think it's necessarily a money making thing. I think they, because I want to write another Brownie Up Gang book, but I really enjoyed writing the first one.
I think when you invest in like the characters and the world that you've created, you start, you get attached to that, and you want to, and it becomes something bigger, and it has more stories that you want to tell.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is always a commercial thing.
A lot of people say it, but I think it's just cynicism. I think there's more to it. Well, I love the idea that this is out of context. Factus, not cactus. All right, Pat. If anyone knows what that refers to, hold on. If there must be.
Wait, it's the Factus sequence.
Oh, the Factus sequence. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's it called? What do they call it?
Yeah, that explains why when I put the cactus sequence in Google, I just got a ton of pictures of cacti.
I love
See
it.
where you started, Pat? You got to be careful. Oh yeah, those look pretty.
It also crashed what I was trying to think of. Spiky plants are awesome though. Yeah, a lot of love for spiky plants. That's a good name for a band. The Spiky Plants.
The Spiky Plants.
So how far from each other do you live? Is this still to us two?
Yeah, as far as the crow flies.
How many hours on the train is it, do you reckon? Have you ever been down here? Have you ever been downtown? You must have gone to London.
Yeah, I've been to London. Where are you?
So I'm in Portsmouth, which is another.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to Portsmouth.
Have you?
How many hours on the train? Oof. That's probably not a good measure, is it? Knowing our trains.
How much? But do you drive?
3 days.
You drive down? I don't drive, so I was doing something like that. Do you drive?
Driving to, let me think. Well, driving to my missus's parents' house from here takes about 6.5 hours, and they're about an hour from Portsmouth.
Right.
So about 7.5 hours by car, I would say.
What? Really? Wow.
Is that is that longer than you thought?
Yeah.
Is that because you think the UK, everyone's round the corner from each other?
Pretty much.
Again, that's probably largely to do with like the fact that the traffic on certain motorway systems is probably going to be horrendous.
Yes, true. Yes, true.
So if you've got clear traffic, probably more like 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours. That's cool. There's another.
You're right on the south coast, and I'm probably about just over halfway up the country before you hit the Scottish border. So it's a fair way.
Yeah. Well, we've been up to York, and that's near you, isn't it?
We're a couple of hours away from us.
Mind you, we've been up. What am I talking about? We've been to Manchester, so yeah, that was definitely near you. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. The difference between ass and arse.
It didn't sound like that big a difference, Devs.
So, do you not say that you're talking out of your ass, Alex? What do you say?
Out of your ass, yeah.
Yeah, you say arse there, don't you?
Arse. Yeah, if it's arse, yeah, as in your backside, yeah.
But that's because there's an R in it. But grass doesn't have an R in it, does it?
Otherwise, it'd be ass. But an ass is a donkey.
Which is like a donkey. I don't think Americans realise that the word ass is a donkey, but we'll move on.
Yeah, we call it an ass.
But yeah, the difference in the pronunciation is words that don't have an R in it, where we put an R in it down south.
Yeah, you say it again. You say ass again.
Arse.
See, I don't really hear the R when you say it. I heard it a little bit when Alex said it. I don't really hear the R when you say it. Say it again.
Arse. Well,
you say it, Alex. Say it again.
Arse.
Yeah, I definitely hear it when he says it.
You're gonna get more of a kind of a nasally sound when you get the north.
So Manchester thing. You gotta roll. Hold on. Where are we? Heidi says, Dave, did you read Akota with your daughter? I know Pat might read it for the. So yeah. I mean, MJ's trying to get everyone to read that, aren't they? The Court of Thorn and Ravens.
My daughter read all the ACOTAR. She loved them, which is, she doesn't usually like spicy stuff, but she loved that series. So no, she gave it to me, but I just, it's too many things. I couldn't do it. I told MJ this morning I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I saw it. It's actually half price in Waterstones at the moment.
Yeah. Are you going to try to read it for that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also not my thing, really,
Yeah, and I'm up for reading things that aren't my thing, but I've done quite a lot of that with Garb August, and I want to try and get some. Be good to talk about this in a minute, but I want to get to some people that I want to read, or some books that I want to read that I've been waiting to read for ages. So
that is exciting to see that Pat's going to read it, though. I'd love to hear Pat's review.
Yeah, well, you know what she thinks of Smart.
Loves it.
She loves
it. I'm worried that ACOTAR might be a little too tame for Pat, to be perfectly honest with you. So, I mean, she might be bored when she reads it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Not enough whips. Yeah. I mean, have you thought about the banned book project, Alex? I don't know. I can't remember if you've been tackling
I
that.
have. I didn't go for it because just already having like so much other stuff scheduled in when it kind of came out. But then some of the stuff that has come in, like that I've got on the schedule, would kind of come into that, or I will end up reading stuff that is, that is or was banned. Just because, if it's some older stuff, some Bradbury, for instance, I ended up reading some of that. And then newer stuff, to be honest, like quite a lot of the stuff that I look at would certainly be targets for bans, I think, because it's queer friendly stuff generally. So I kind of as I say, I didn't kind of go in for the project officially, but if there's an opportunity to read something that feeds into it, I absolutely will. But yeah, I just kind of I have to kind of keep to my schedule a bit, otherwise I'll just like sign up for everything and then just never get anything read.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's really hard. I was really looking forward to Shorty September, and I've decided not to do it because I'll end up not reading what I really want to read again. So yeah, it's a shame. These events are awesome, aren't they? But you can't do them.
Limited myself for Shorty September. I'm not doing the prompts or anything. I'm just reading a few shorty bits.
Yeah.
Really, really short bits.
Yeah. I mean, I could do that as like books in between the ones I'm properly reading. So like, be like, oh, I'll quickly read this one. I could do that and not worry about the prompts, but give a nod to it. It's a great idea. I think people sometimes throw about the big books as a sense of pride. Yes, I've read this, and it's like the short books don't get the same kind of respect. So I like the fact that,
I think it's I loved it last year. I got a load out of it last year, and so I want to take part in some way this year. But I can't go all in on the prompts because I've gone mental with like Garb August and try to do all of the bingo card and do all of the prompts and stuff. And I just need a bit of a prompt-free month.
Yeah.
To recover.
What was your? Go ahead.
No, go on. No, go on.
I was just going to ask Alex, what was your favorite book for Garb August?
My favorite for Garb August. Let me think. Just trying to think back to my bingo card now. What I've actually read.
Well, that was a tough
Leave
question.
it with me because I'm going to have to think about it.
Okay.
I'll come back to me and
Gareth will catch up on some comments while you.
Well, I can tell you what my favorite was because I got it ready because I thought we might talk about that. Okay. Dark Star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, and I think it goes well beyond the novelization. Novelizations are kind of sometimes this happened, then that happened, then this happened, but the way it's written is really good. There's a lot of material in there, which is the character's thoughts. It's mostly the character's thoughts. There's not actually. I mean, I don't know if you remember the film, but not a lot happens in the film. And so there's a lot of stuff that an author would put in there that's extra to the film. And it's so good. Really good.
I haven't seen the film. It's worth watching, I guess.
Yeah. The film is quite unique, really. It's really early John Carpenter, and it's a really low budget, and it's it's like 5 astronauts that are really bored and like have a go at each other, and then there's a bit in the middle where they have to tackle a small beach ball that's creating a problem on the ship. That's an alien, but it's a really low budget. And at one point they defrost the captain that had died because they need advice from him. It's it's completely mad, but it's quite unique because it's so quiet and still as a science fiction film. Because they're so bored. So you get a lot of that in the book, but it's done. I think it's better in the book. I think it's done better in the book.
No,
but this is quite rare to find. So,
okay.
I knew about it years ago, and I found it recently in like a charity shop or something. I was like, "Oh my god, there it is!"
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Before we go back to comments, what was your favorite in Garb August, Dave?
Well, I ended up not reading that much, because I think I told you offline. I was very excited for Garb August again, and but for anybody that doesn't know, my youngest was going off to college. I dropped her off yesterday, and about halfway through the month, it was going slow, and I'm just like, I'm not even gonna try to do this. We're spending time as a family. We're getting stuff ready. I just get back to reading I mean, I kept reading some, but I'm like, I'm not going to try to accomplish any prompts or anything, stuff like that. We're just going to enjoy the time that we have, and that's it. So I only read a few things. Actually, Olive is still finishing up Ice Planet Barbarians. So, but actually, I have to say, I did really enjoy. I think I enjoyed the one that we were talking about last time, which I just finished. I had a tiny little bit, and I just finished it this morning. Was that Fermata?
Oh yeah,
by Nicholson Baker.
Yeah.
And I think that I really liked it. But oh my God, I need to sit with it a little while still. Holy crap. You haven't read that, right, Alex?
No, I do know of it though. I know its reputation.
Yeah. Well, what reputation have you heard? I think it mostly gets a bad reputation, but
I think mixed, but like similarly to you, kind of people kind of go, "What?
yeah,
what? I need to let that settle."
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
kind of,
so crazy. It was so crazy. I mean, it might be the craziest book that I've ever read. But it was a quality book. You know, it was so. Did I tell you basically the gist of what it was about, Gareth? It was.
You did, but I've forgotten. So tell us
Yeah.
again. Tell the viewers.
Really quick, it's this guy he's telling in the first person. He's telling his story, and he's a mid-30 something guy. He's a temp. He does transcriptions, but he has a special power that it comes and goes, but using different parts of his like anatomy and certain mechanical objects, he's able to he figures out different ways to create what's called the fold, which is basically he can stop time. And it is very, very, he does a lot of things when he has time stopped, a lot of which is sexual. And it is very, very explicit. It actually starts out kind of tame, some of the things in the beginning. So I kind of knew that, the book had some of that. And so going in, I'm like, oh, this is not that bad, and I think this is one of the numerous genius things about the novel was the buildup that he did. It was almost like literature foreplay, and it got so extreme, and never violent, but just very, very explicit and very, very extreme, to the point there's even one piece that was too much for me, which is, I'm telling you, that's a lot. If you hear me saying that, I'm not, you're not talking to a prude or somebody that gets embarrassed by stuff or shy or anything. And it was like, wow, it was like, it was a lot. So there was a lot of that. It was really heavy with that, but there was so much, like the more I thought about this book, there was a lot of things going. I mean, he's a well-respected author. He's written a lot of stuff. And there was a lot going into that. There was a lot in there that I think is somewhat underappreciated. It's not a smut book. It's just a very explicit piece of literature, and there's a number of different things that I'm not going to spoil the whole book. I mean, I'll talk a little more in detail when I do my review of it, but there's just a lot of different things with playing with narratives, narrative style, and just pacing, and just like perception, and just there's a lot going on in that novel. It's crazy. It's crazy. So
there's
did it have a good ending?
There's
it had a good ending
that I've got on my kind of to read list, which I haven't got to yet. But like Fermata's one, and then there's a more recent one than that, which sounds absolutely, utterly bonkers. That I think just sounds, but really imaginative. I'm trying to think what it's called now. Look it up. Google.
It's cool when like the whole concept of the book feels fresh.
Yeah.
Because that's rare. Basically, it's hard to write something totally original now.
Yeah, it was definitely an original book, and it's not new. The Fermata was in the '90s, mid '90s, but
that's 30
it
years
was
ago
definitely
now.
original. It's one of those books like nobody's gonna be able to copy that. You know what I mean? Like, just it's so original. You're not going to see another the Fermata. You're just not.
Yeah.
Have you found it, Alex?
So there's Vox, which I think was one that came before the Fermata.
Yeah.
And then there's House of Holes.
House of Holes.
Yes.
Also by him?
I think that probably tells you everything you need to know.
I love
Yeah.
Well, when you read those,
they sound great. And from what I've read a couple of samples of things, and I like the writing style. The writing is good. I mean, the writing is quality writing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Dave says this is about the Bradbury trilogy. They've got minor characters crossover. So I haven't read Farewell Summer at all. And I don't remember the link with the other two. So that's interesting. So minor characters crossover in that trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't blame the tech. Yeah. No, we knew what you meant. No.
At least you've got biscuits, Pat.
Yeah. You gotta say what biscuits you're eating, Pat. Everyone tell us what biscuits you're eating. I'm hoping everyone's eating a biscuit.
Is that my punishment for not bringing biscuits? I've got to sit here what lovely biscuits everybody else has got.
Yeah. Gareth's gonna eat some more right in front of you just to punish you.
Aaron's here. So Aaron's like, I'm probably thinking, wow, I can catch this because it's before my bedtime. And people say arse over arse. Yeah, so you see, Aaron is in our time zone as well, isn't he? So I'm sure he has a normal bedtime like everybody else. So yeah. Welcome, Aaron. We're hoping to meet up in London at some point. Because
cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And I just need to, save some money to go back to London because I've spent so much money in this summer. It's crazy.
Yeah, you've been living the life.
No, I've had a great summer. Yeah, it's got to be said. Pat said, "Welcome to this. Is this thing on?" Sounds normal. Arse. Smudge out the back. That's presumably to Pat. I've already read 20 books in the Read 24. That's amazing.
Oh, nice.
She's nearly there.
Nice.
That's brilliant. I've got loads catching up to. I'm now on 10. I don't know if I'll get to 24, but I'm going to try.
I've only done a couple.
Yeah. What I might do, I've thought about this, and what I might do is do 24, and then it might go into February. Do you know what I mean? But I'll treat it as 24 books that are specifically on that project, even if it goes into February. That's what I might do.
Yeah. That's true.
Try dipping your toes into publishing, Alex. You're trying to read just for pleasure.
Yeah.
It's
Dave,
funny you should say that. I'm about to do just that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I'm well, at the moment I'm currently in the middle of editing courses so that I can start working as a freelance editor, but I want to publish my own stuff generally as well. But there are projects on the horizon which I can't talk about yet, but there are things coming up.
Oh, sounds very mysterious.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, yes. But yeah, I'm about to sort of take a little bit of a slight change in career. So I'm adding in some editing and stuff into publishing into my my repertoire, along with keeping some of my art and design as well. But yeah, adding in something else as well, because I really want to get into that side of things. I love books and writing and reading and all surrounding it, and kind of want to be part of that process of, shepherding something through to publication, whether that's my own stuff or someone else's. So yeah, that's where I'm going at the moment. But yeah, I know my reading for pleasure is going to take a hit.
Yeah, I could never be an editor though. I showed one of my recent short stories that I've only just recently wrote to my daughter, and she gave me some advice that's really good advice, and I keep putting off doing it because it'll do my head in, going back to a story and doing extra bits at the beginning, and it's like, but that's what normal authors do,
Yeah.
But I hate all that. But I'm going to do it because it's good advice. What she said was, she sort of said you need to kind of layer up the plot a little bit, so it's not like bang straight away, which is good. It's only a short story, but it's good advice. That's cool though. Good luck with that, Alex. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And say it's going well so far. So I'll hopefully by Christmas be fully qualified. I've done the courses and everything, have the certificates to show, and be cracking on with that. So yes, if you ever want a proofreader or anything like that, proofreader and editor, then anybody else does, then let me know.
You could say that at the beginning of your videos. I'm Alex Unabridged, author, proof editor, blah blah blah.
I will tout flaunt my services when I'm up and running on occasion. Generally I'll keep it off the channel. Generally, it's like I don't.
You got a platform, so you might as well
shameless self promotion all the time.
Who else is going to do it? Eh?
Apart from for my writing, I'll shamelessly promote that at any given opportunity.
Was you going to say something, Dave?
No, I was just going to say there's nothing wrong with shameless self-promotion.
Yeah. Speaking of banned books, the Court of Thorn and Roses group is also talking about reading The Diary of Anne Frank. Oh, that's interesting. I studied it in school, but I've never properly read it as an adult. That's I'm kind of interested, actually. That's interesting. Oh yeah, no, I know that's a banned book. Yeah. Love it. And then we got some reactions to that. So Heidi says she didn't finish Court of Thorn and Roses when a female character protested chopping wood as it would ruin her nail polish. Women have come so far in fantasy literature. Finally, no more red-headed princesses. Then I read that. Yeah, there's. I mean, I find that quite fascinating. The way, because I'm in my 50s, I've been reading since. Like I've read the stuff before all the change with representation and the way women are written in books, and it's been interesting seeing the change and how people would the norm is so different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now if young people read fantasy from the 80s or 70s, they're like, what the hell, why are people getting away with writing this, whereas it was normal back then. It's interesting.
It's really interesting sort of listening to my niece's reaction. She's like 30 and she's just started reading some more kind of YA and certainly some more adult books, and her reaction to stuff that was written in like say the 70s or 80s is just like, what, you can't say that. It's like different time.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't say that. You're right, absolutely right, and that's good that you've noticed that. But it's like just absolute shock at the sort of things that were written, sort of 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember I didn't finish the book because it really annoyed me. Like, it was so out of context. It was so weird. There was a story when I was finding lots of time travel stories, and I wanted to read a bunch of time travel stories. Do my first video on time travel, which it was just like going back 2 years or so. And I read this book by George Alec Effinger, who I knew from the Twilight Zone magazine, so I knew his name. But I read this book by him, and halfway, at some point early on, to be fair, I didn't read the whole book, but early on, this guy, the main character, just slaps this woman around the face for no reason. I read that bit again thinking, what's going on? And he just did it, and I don't know if he did it because he thought the reader would go, right, or something, I don't know, but it's just such a weird thing in the book, and I thought, that's definitely an indication of the time it was written, where no one's going to go, why did that woman get slapped?
Your audio thing just happened again.
It's happened again?
Yeah.
Well, at least you can hear me. I'll go out and come back in a minute. But that's madness, isn't it? But then, have you guys seen the clip of Sean Connery saying, "Sometimes a woman needs a good slap"? Have you seen that?
No. It's like a serious clip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. If you put in YouTube search Sean Connery slap, it's just a normal interview that's been kind of gone viral with it because people are like, "What?" But he just says in an interview, "Yeah, well, some women need a good slap." Madness. So yeah, the times have changed. Times have changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it fixed itself. Don't worry. It fixed itself.
Oh, good. Okay, that's cool. I don't like leaving the room and coming back in.
Yeah. We have these weird technical issues, Alex. We're like, for quite a few episodes in a row, some point during the show, my thing would just freeze up and I'd get kicked out. I'd have to come back in like 5 minutes later. That went away. That hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, you've been all right. Yeah.
And right after that went away, he started having every single episode. He has that audio issue at some point. Totally inexplicable.
What I'm not telling you is I'm so worried about having a boring show that I put on a funny voice for a while, and then change it back after a while.
Got a whole modulation unit down there next to it, so you can mess around with it.
Yeah, right. He's got like 5 dials down there that he's.
Yeah, I'm going through some sort of synth pads. Right. So Pat says, "You told me that. I absolutely get it. This is not my typical read, but it certainly has the right to exist. We're reading it, I think, to make a point." Is this Dan Frank? Oh no, this is about A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because do you guys watch Willow Reed stuff? It used to be called Books and Bow, and then they changed it to
Willow Talks Books.
Yeah. Do you watch? Yeah. So they did a video recently on Court of Thorn and Roses, didn't they?
I haven't seen it, but I saw the thumbnail, which kind of told me everything.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but clearly not a lot of love for that book.
No.
Yeah. If you stop time, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, come back to the stopping time thing. If you stop time, everything you touch would be completely immovable. You really couldn't do anything sexual with someone that's frozen in time. That sounds like Dave's frustrated by the idea, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not giving a whole lot of. I don't want to give too much away, but that issue is dealt with. It's not just sexual stuff. There's a lot of detail about things that he actually goes into quite a bit, how some things would be when they're frozen in time. And a lot of the sexual explicitness that I was talking about is, I don't want to give away the whole book, but a lot of that is not actually, let's just say I understand your concern, Dave. I don't want to give too much away. I understand your concern, but don't worry, that kind of unbelievable aspect doesn't take place. So we'll just leave it.
I love that. I understand your concern. Did either of you two see Tales from the Loop?
No, I meant it. That's a Prime thing, right?
So good.
I keep meaning to watch it.
Video when it came out. So it's back in probably a couple of years ago again. So it's in the vaults of YouTube, if you like. It's weird the way that happens, isn't it? Your videos get a bunch of views in the first 2 days, and then no one ever watches them again. Yeah. But yeah, I did a video on it, and I was already a massive fan of the Electric State and a couple of the other books that Simon Stallonhug wrote that the show is based on. Have you guys seen Electric State? No. Electric State. It is definitely Electric State, isn't it? I'm not making this up. It's a really big graphic kind of art storybook kind of thing, but it's an amazing book. But Tales from the Loop includes an episode where these 2 young characters can stop time, and it's probably my favorite exploration of that kind of idea. Genuinely, it's like so good. It's so good the way they do it. It's like episode 4 or something. So even if you didn't watch
you don't remember the name of it, do you?
Of that episode?
Yeah.
No, but if someone starts chatting about something, I might better look it up. But it's definitely worth just seeing that episode if you don't want to watch the whole series because I mean it's a very short series and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean there's a really good episode where they find these two kids find this huge tree trunk that sort of seems to be buried in the ground, and then one of them goes into it, and because of the weird nature of this tree trunk, they swap bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the consequence of them having the other body, and the way the family reacts and stuff like that is so good, and the way that they react because one of them likes it and the other one doesn't like it. And it's really, really well done. And then it happens again later, but with a massive twist on it. It's such a good series.
Okay.
If anyone in this chat has seen Tales from the Loop,
yeah,
tell me. I'll see if I can find out what that.
I almost tried that show a couple times, but just never did.
Yeah, it seems to be really underrated. Nobody really talked about it seems, and I think it's much better than people gave it credit. You know. It's 8 episodes, so it only takes 5 minutes to watch it.
All right, I'll check
Stasis.
it out.
It's episode 3. It's called Stasis. And then it's got the little bump on the IMDb says, upon falling in love, a teenage girl attempts to make the moment last forever, but doesn't go according to plan.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Gareth. Just because you're such a good friend, I'm going to watch that tonight.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
See, the sacrifice that friends make.
That's right.
See, that's why I love him, Alex. But have you got Amazon Prime, Alex?
I have got Amazon Prime.
There you go.
I should say that the household has Amazon Prime.
It's about half an hour long. Go on, do it.
Yeah, I will, but not until Garbogus is finished, because every minute of my waking life, other than this 2 hours here, is filled with Garbogus at the moment. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish the damn bingo board.
How much of the bingo board have you done?
That's
at the moment, all but 3 squares.
Wow.
2 of them are movies.
Oh,
that I'm wearing. So I'm going to be watching some movies. Sorry, all but 4 squares. So I've got one book that will cover. I've got the Trash in Translation, I think, that I've got to do, which is some manga, so that's easy. And then 2 movies, and then I've got the step back cover to do, which I didn't think I was going to get, but Debs, Raina Reed stuff, saved the day and sent me the step back cover book that she read last year, when she knew that brilliant. I wasn't going to get to that square otherwise.
That is awesome.
Oh, so nice going,
so
Debs.
I've got to get through that now. So I'm not doing too bad, but I have got movies to watch and things still to read.
Oh,
yes,
man, this is why I will. Sorry.
Go on.
I was just gonna say, this is why BookTube is so awesome.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, we've got you got the gifts like that, which is awesome. You've got random stuff like boxes that have been sent between booktubers as well, and you've got people that buddy read. You've got people that read in like group reads, and then you've got that CB Radio Girl woman thing.
Yeah,
CB. What's it called? That book?
CB Angel.
CB Angel. That's going around.
Almost done with it, Gareth.
That's all right. I think if I get it, I will probably end up reading it for the February. Garble 2.5 or whatever.
Yeah, I'll be sending it off soon. I'm just about done. That was it's better than I thought. It's kind of fun. The characters are fun. The 2 main guys are funny.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? That books that aren't particularly famous or respected, they could be fun if they're written with a bit of humor and interesting characters.
Yeah. There's no redeeming qualities to this book. It's just fun. You know what I mean?
Isn't that a redeeming quality in itself?
Yes, redeeming quality.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, fun is good. I mean, I'm saying this in my last novel is just fun. There's nothing. There's no. I wrote it to make people laugh. So
yeah,
I've got a subjective reason to say that fun is good.
Well, I write for fun. Do you know what I mean? It's like my writing is like it. I'm not trying to like do anything special with it other than just to have fun myself and hopefully give, whoever ends up reading it, a bit of fun as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah. Hopefully it goes travels, doesn't it, to the reader?
Yeah. And it's like, and maybe one day when I get more confidence, then I will try and write something that's a bit more weighty, for want of a better word. But I'm not that bothered if I don't. I like reading that kind of stuff on occasion, but actually, I really just I like fun stuff that makes me think a bit.
Yeah. No, to be fair, you've tapped on something that's really true for me. That there's something in my head that I will tackle one day. It's probably the heaviest thing I could write about. It's the heaviest part of my own life that I wanted to put into a story, probably a science fiction story, but it would be about parenting, abandonment, abuse, that kind of stuff. But I've got to be in the right place to do it, and I think I've got to write a few other things first. But I do want to do it because I feel like I think it'd be good for me, and I think it might be good for someone else to kind of address it. But yeah, I think you got to know when it's right for you to write that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I say I've got bits and pieces started of kind of more sort of memoir fiction-y type stuff that kind of uses bits of my own life, but I know that that's a ways off in terms of any kind of real plan and work and publication, because it's a much bigger thing to tackle, not just in terms of it's kind of the prose style and the sort of that kind of thing, but also the content and having to deal with it myself. It's my life.
Yeah.
So it's you've got to kind of be in the, as you say, in the right place at the right time for that.
I had a short story idea that was based around that kind of thing, and I literally decided not to do it because I knew it would just crush me, really. So that's the thing, you've got to know that you can do it and actually get through the next day or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The bits I've started writing already are kind of the more positive bits.
Yeah.
I have to deal with the less easy bits.
Yeah.
That'll come at another time.
Yeah. But that might be, I don't know, it depends on how much you want to put into how public you want to be about that. But that could be something you could look at in your channel as well, like a diary of writing, that kind of thing. And
oh yeah, I will do, definitely, when I come to do that.
Dave has made a very good point. You can't edit yourself.
No,
it's true. You just don't read the mistakes, do you? You can't see it.
No.
And we can't afford to pay. We can't afford to pay people. Yeah, we pay our authors. Oh, the editors can't afford to pay people. We pay our authors and artists, but we don't make a penny, so there's no money left. It's worth saying that Dave, if you don't know, guys, Dave Brzezinski edits a great magazine, which is the Occult Detective magazine, and I think we've all read that, haven't we? Have we all read that? Have you read that, Alex?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really good magazine, and it's definitely worth checking out on online. I think you can only get it online. There we go. Yeah, so
there's the Mythos special number 2 that just came out.
Yeah, I've got mine upstairs, so I can't go and get it. But yeah, there it is.
Run out and get a copy.
Well, one of the things that's in the email that Dave sent me, he's saying, you and Dave keep saying that you're going to have me on, but you haven't done it yet. But we've discussed, haven't we? We said we'd do it just before October to really push the magazine.
Yeah.
So we have been talking about you, Dave.
I forgot to tell Dave that. Did you tell him?
No, I forgot to. I was going to tell him when I replied to the email. And we should definitely tell Dave to bring biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Dave's been reading since 1959. That's amazing. So all the books were black and white in those days. That's my favorite comment I've made all week. I like that. You must have been reading in the womb. Oh, Pat's chatting him up. Oh, you don't look a day over 40, mate. Yeah, that's what he's saying. I caught a phone off of roses. That looks like some sort of Tourette's. Pat just went, I caught a phone of roses. Modern fantasy heroines are in Daughter of the Empire. Oh, that's Raymond Feist, isn't it? Boudica, the Bloodworm, the Bloodworn, Gale's Song, The Last War, Lord's War, Live Ship Traders, to name just a few. Is it Live Ship Traders Robin Hobb, or am I making that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
We've
one
been talking
that
about
does
Robin Hobb, haven't we,
intrigue
Dave?
me.
Say again, Alex?
That does intrigue me, Live Ship Traders. The premise
We've
of
been
it.
talking about reading Robin Hobb.
Yeah. Not the Live Ship Traders, though. The other one, that starts with Assassin's Apprentice.
Assassin's Apprentice.
What's that series called? I forget.
Don't know. But I think I've got that one and Ship of Fools, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, we should definitely we say that's about so many bucks, but we should definitely
it's really annoying, right? Because this is a really pointless anecdote, but it concerns me. So I've got a bunch of books in my loft, and the Robin Hobb ones are in there in the loft, and I can't get up there with a light anymore because there's something happened with the light. So it's not like the bulb's gone, because if I sort of move the lead a bit, it sort of flickers on and off. So there's something funny about it, and there's so many reasons I've wanted to go up there. One of the reasons being that there's a book up there that's going to be included in my special book club I'm going to make next year, and I wanted to do an announcement for it, but I can't. I need to get spoilers. I need to get The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat by Oliver Sacks. That's one of the books that's going to be in this book club, and I know it's upstairs in the loft, but I won't be able to do it until
I hear so much about this loft that I'm hoping it's like structurally sound, because I'm starting to get nervous about it, that like you're gonna get crushed one
there's
day.
Cracks in the ceiling in our bedroom. They're genuine cracks, and that's part of the reason why I did the big unhaul last year, tried to get rid of those. Now I have half the amount of books in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be a serious problem.
His books are heavy.
They are heavy,
and it seems like there's an awful lot in this loft.
Yeah, no, it's something that my wife mentions a lot. She doesn't even like books being in the house, so she's not a massive fan. And then she wrote one, so she creates the problem herself.
Yeah.
She's good. We got about 30 of these in the house. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the books that out of the 6 books, that's one of the books that I'm gonna put in this Belief and Behavior bi-monthly book club. So I'm looking forward to doing that and see who jumps on to the thing. But I need to get up in the loft, and the Robin Hobb books are in the loft as well. Anyway, moving on.
Torch.
Pardon?
Have you not got a torch?
Yeah, I can use my phone light. It's just going to be a pain. Do you know what I mean? Because having a light, when we fixed the light up there, it was really good.
Whoa!
Floor up there.
Whoa! Wait a second. So you call flashlights torches?
Yeah.
Wow. So what?
I love that.
What do you call an actual torch? You know, that goes in like a sconce, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Torch as well.
Yeah, that's a torch. It's just a different torch.
It's just you don't get that many of them around here.
Wow.
Yeah, but
in modern parlance.
Dave's got a dungeon where he keeps some of the people that he doesn't like, and he's got a torch. An old fashioned medieval torch
or
in that dungeon.
Headlamps. We use headlamps as well.
Like on your head.
Yeah.
Strapped to your head. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we've got like street lights as well, street lamps. And there's like, and we got there's some bulbs with lights coming out on the ceiling. That's a nice thing that we've got over here.
Torch. See, I learned something. I learned some new linguistic thing every show.
I love that. Whoa!
Wow.
Man, that's what a torch is. Brilliant. But then I learned something today, because I said before we went live on air, I said that me and Alex are going to say trousers, and you're not. And then Alex went, "I don't say trousers."
Well, no,
he's from up north.
You know, I would use trousers, but say in Manchester, you often hear pants for trousers.
There you go. So, so the Americans came from Manchester.
Well, do you ever say slacks?
No, but I know what you mean.
No, slacks would be very much for a certain generation of gentlemen.
Oh.
My dad probably would wear slacks.
Really?
These days. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. See, we use pants to cover different varieties. Like pants in the U.S., pants would cover like jeans. You use the word jeans?
Yeah. Say jeans all the time. I wear jeans every day.
Yeah. So pants would cover jeans, but they would also cover what we call slacks, which are like the more like like they're more like I don't know what words to use because I don't know what words you guys use, but they're more like business casual pants. They might be pleated,
Yeah.
We would call those slacks.
I thought you said pants for all trousers.
Well, I don't know what you mean by trousers, but we say pants. We say pants to cover all those things, whether it's slacks or dress pants or jeans. We use the word pants to cover all of that.
Alex said dress pants. It's weird, isn't it?
Dress pants, yeah. Well, dress pants, dress trousers. depends on where you're from, where who you're talking to, and
that was
dress pants.
or dress. Ones. Might wear a dress. So I think those two words are just we say trousers for pretty much all of that kind of thing, and you say pants for all of that kind of thing for you, right? Is that right?
Me?
Is that right? Pants is all trousers, and trousers is all pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think so. I mean, would jeans fall within your rubric of trousers?
Trousers, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I think most people would say jeans instead, but they are trousers. They are.
Okay.
They'd be in a trouser department in the shop.
And our pants and trousers are equivalent then.
Yeah. Great, we solved that. Brilliant.
Next.
Onto pavements and sidewalks. Sneakers and trainers. I didn't tell you the advice my late father gave me. That was definitely not all that acceptable then, let alone now.
I'm not sure what that was reference to.
The advice my late father gave me was that to reply to email straight away. I think that's what that was. Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Brian, you left a really lovely comment, very serious comment on one of my videos recently, and I need to reply. I'm so sorry I haven't replied to your comment because it's very important. Your comment was very important. So I think he said he's had a rough time or something. So I need to reply. So Brian, I'm sorry. Scatterbrain. There she is.
Hey, MJ.
MJ's going, why the hell are you doing it so early? It's late for us, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's probably more for me, I should think, rather than the rest of you. It's because my wife has a proper job and has to get up early in the morning. So she has to get to bed reasonably early, and our house is just totally not soundproof in any way, shape, or form. So I have to stop. I have to be quiet, be silent after a certain time. But if it was just me, I can do all night. I'm a complete nocturnal beast naturally.
Yeah, I'm the same because I don't know if you noticed, but I stay up late. It's true.
I rarely go to bed myself before 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah, but that's cool. Yeah. We can stay up all night when I go down to Manchester.
Yep.
Have a good old chat. So yeah, some people saying hi to MJ. Hello, everyone. That's my impression. Erie's here.
Oh, hey, Erie.
Psychically linked. Boss says hello. That looks like MJ's fallen down the stairs. CB Angel is just fun.
It is fun.
Oh, something's come up in the post. Oh, okay.
Oh, merch.
Yeah, I love that T-shirt idea. That's brilliant. MJ's a genius on that front. 4XL. Oh my God. There's no way that Jenny's 4XL. Why did she do that?
Money's worth it. He's a Patreon.
He's a Patreon, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So there'll be an address you can contact. Is that a better way of doing it, Dave? Tell us if that's a better way for you, that there's no middleman getting extra royalties or whatever. That'd be good. I keep saying Back in Black, an anthology of new mystery short stories, which is inspired by the ACDC.
What is that right?
I don't know. Have I read that recommendation before?
New mystery short stories.
I love that idea.
I never heard of this, but this sounds like something.
That is amazing.
That does sound amazing. Wait, I got to write that down.
Yeah. Hell's Bells. There'll be a story called Hell's Bells, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
What else would there be? Hell's Bells. I don't know. Are you an AC/DC fan, Alex?
No, it's not my kind of music.
Not my thing. Not your thing. I think Hell's Bells is one of the greatest introductions to any song. The build up, it's so amazing. Before there's any vocals, it's such a brilliant build up.
Alex, that's not my kind of music either, except that this is AC/DC we're talking about.
Yeah, no.
You don't like AC/DC?
No, afraid not.
Oh my goodness.
No biscuits, no AC/DC. Jesus. My daughter went to see AC/DC last month, and she loved it.
Really? Where?
London, somewhere in London. I think, was it Wembley? Okay. I think they might have played at Wembley.
Is Axl Rose still doing the
No. Brian Johnson went back.
He did.
Yeah.
So she saw Brian Johnson.
He did struggle a bit, or at least I've seen video, and you can see that he's struggling a bit. But to be fair, every single song is like incredibly high, so it's fair enough, isn't it? But Angus was still playing like he did and all that.
Yeah.
Sepia toned. I don't know what that means.
Sepia tone? Filter?
My mum taught me to read before I started school. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, that was when I said that the books were in black and white.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a comment worth revisiting. Pat says, that's awesome, Dave. I was just kidding. We're very close in age. Aaron's still here. Awesome. Live Shop Trailers. It's the second trilogy.
Oh, it's the same characters, but a second trilogy. Okay, I didn't know that.
So is that Ship of Fools or Assassin's Apprentice?
So Assassin's Apprentice is the first book in the first trilogy, and then the Live Ship Traders is the second trilogy. That is
the second trilogy. Yeah. Okay. Realm of the Elderlings is 16 books. Jesus Christ. Have you read them, Alex?
No, I'm tempted. Like, I'm intrigued by that whole sort of series, but as soon as I see the size of the individual books and then know that it's 16 books, that's an immediate kind of like, I'm just going to step away quietly.
Yeah, it seems like such an investment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And when you've got loads of other
things, I will try the first one at some stage for sure, but I need to be in a position where if I like it, I can then read them in a timely manner, because otherwise I'll drop off and find something new and shiny over there and go off on that and then never come back to them.
Because I worry that I'll forget bits of plot and characters and stuff. So if you leave it too big a gap, you're like, well, I might as well have not read the other books, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm a bit like that. I'm in that position with The Expanse because I absolutely loved the first book, but it was so long ago, I don't really remember a lot of it. So I've got 5 of the others, but I don't know. I feel like I need to read the first one again. This is a bit of a pain. Brian says, every time I try to write something, it devolves into a rambling stream of consciousness about whatever happens to be crossing my visual field. Dave can attest to this.
Yeah. So I have to say this. I've told Brian a couple of times. I think he probably thinks so I talked with Brian a little bit offline, and I think he probably thinks I'm joking every time I say this, but I'm not. If you're still here, Brian, I've told him several times, I think he should like really take up writing. Because we'll be like talking about whatever. Sometimes it's political stuff, sometimes it's other stuff. But like every one of his, and it sounds funny because these are just in like, long text messages stuff. But even in that context, like his stuff is always like very, very well written. It's always extremely clever. He always cracks me up. He's very, very witty, always cracking me up. I really think that he should like seriously take up writing, because he like never sends me a message that like doesn't impress me and crack me up. But I think he thinks I'm just kidding, but you should do it, Brian. You really should.
Yeah, there are people. I mean, there are people that their writing is like these little kind of short kind of bursts of thought. And if that sounds awesome if you can do that.
Yeah,
doesn't have to have a plot, does it necessarily? Sometimes great writing is just great writing.
Short story. Start with a short story if you don't want to commit to something.
Or even like go super short and go to like flash fiction.
Yeah,
like 1,000 words. You can have so much fun with those in terms of form and like stream of consciousness and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or you can frame it like let yourself just write random shit, but then have it like maybe some old guy in prison reminiscing about his past life or something, where each chapter could be just Brian writing whatever's in his head, and it's like just thoughts on life. You know what I mean? That could work. Doesn't have to have a beginning, middle, and end. It could be just like an excuse to have these, like you say, it can make you laugh or it can make you think. Be awesome. Dave is absolutely right. I need to worry more about the state of my loft. So yeah, if I hear a burning fire in the house, it's probably going to be the loft. Heidi says, Aaron, you agree live ship has so many strong female leads, including Vivacia, the magic ship. Oh, cool. So it's a sentient ship. I like that. But do you think that's because Robin Hobb is a female writer that the characters are better? What do you think, guys? I mean, when Robin Hobb was in writing, like in the early days, there wasn't a lot of I don't think there was a lot of female writers being published in fantasy, was there?
You asking us or you asking Heidi?
Yeah.
We haven't read it. You ask Heidi. That's a question for Heidi.
Well, I haven't read it, but I'm just wondering if it might have had an influence, knowing that there wasn't a lot of female fantasy writers, in the old days.
We got to work this into the schedule. You want to make a real effort to do Hobb? I mean, it's not as long as some of the other books that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I'd like to. I would like to. I mean,
you want in on this, Alex?
I won't at the moment. No, my balance card is pretty much packed.
My priority is this guy.
Yeah. That's on my list for September.
Yeah.
Have you read the first one?
2.
Oh, you read the first 2. Brilliant. Yeah.
And what did you think of them?
Loved them. Absolutely.
And this is what I'm reading at the moment. So I'm only a few pages in.
And how would
you go back to it?
How would you compare? Wait, you started Children of Memory.
I've started this, yeah.
Wait, how far in did you say?
I'm literally about 20 pages in. So it's really just setting it up.
Okay. I was yeah, you were in for interesting. It's different from the other two. I probably told you this already, but it's different from the other two in that like I was 2/3 into it before I kind of got a sense of what the hell was happening.
Oh, really?
So it's So Alex, how would you compare book 1 and book 2?
What, in terms of my enjoyment?
Yeah.
Book one blew me away because I just didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Of like what I was getting into. The way that he talks about the evolution of society on that planet, the way that you can, for me, I connected with those characters on that planet, and the way that they were written in that, in that way through these eons of time. I was just in it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
The second one, I think I enjoyed it just as much, if not more, in some ways. But I don't objectively think that it was quite as good a book. It was still a brilliant book, but it wasn't quite up there with the first one. But there were elements of it that I liked even better. It was like some of the conversations around communication I really liked. And the bits that kind of took a little step into the horror, I absolutely loved.
Yeah,
we're all going on an adventure.
Yeah,
it's true. I found that first one literally is one of those books. There's a half a dozen books that grip me as much as that I couldn't put down. I was literally like painful to leave it. You know, I wanted to keep reading it so much. And the second one, absolutely agree, it's really impressive, but I had to push myself to read it. So I think there's something about the writing of the second one that didn't grip me as much.
I think there was some clarity issues for me in the second one, especially as you got further on, and especially some of the stuff around AI and shared consciousness. That I think got a little bit lost somewhere, or I got a bit lost.
Yeah,
with a bit more clarity on it. But yeah, I know what you mean about like the first one I was just gripped by. I mean, I was like in the middle of painting the loft here, like redoing the studio, and I was like, I need a decent audiobook to stick on when I've got to do this flipping painting. I hate painting, like painting pictures, hate painting walls. But I thought, I'll go for this one. I'll try a bit of Tchaikovsky, and I'll go for Children of Time, and I barely even remember the painting. So got done. But it's like I was just like in it straight away, and then just wanted to listen to it like in the evenings as well. I absolutely powered through it, and then went straight on to the second one. I literally didn't stop. I hadn't planned to read the second one necessarily that month, and I was just like, no, it's happening. I'm buying it now. Done. Listen. So yeah, those two saw me through the decorating. But yeah, I loved them both.
Yeah. I agree 100% with every single thing you said when you were talking about them. I've talked about these endlessly, but yeah, I agree with everything you said. It was first one absolutely amazing. Second one not exactly as amazing, but still amazing. Really loved that it added that little horror element, and it was so what I would say was, I think when you try Children of Memory, you will like it just a little bit less. You will still think it was so worth the journey. Or the adventure. You'll probably like it a little bit less. Although I did have someone just comment, but you know how, Gareth, how you were saying that, how like people watch your video for like a couple days and then nobody ever watches it again. Right. Except you've got a few videos, I'm sure, because I have a few like this, like just a few where every now and then you keep getting comments on that video.
Yeah.
And one of them is the Tchaikovsky series. Every now and then I keep getting comments on that one, and somebody just commented on that like a week or two ago, and they said that they disagree with me a little bit, and they said that Children of Memory was their favorite of the three, which I was a little surprised to hear. But I get it, because it's a little different than the other two.
I love the story so far bit at the beginning. I like the fact that he started like that, because there's so much happens, and it goes across so much time, and he's built so much up. It's quite nice. He went, so just to clarify, this is where we are.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
And this person left a comment in their comment. They also mentioned what like the next step for the series now should, like what the next what we need
Is
to
he
hear
going to do
about
another
now.
one?
And well, I don't know, but this comment made. I don't want to say because I don't want to.
Yeah,
what I mean. But I think the person was right, and that might be where a next book is. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So it was, yeah.
But you do go into it knowing you're going to go on an adventure. You know that it's going to span loads of time. It's going to be a huge world building thing, and it's quite exciting knowing that you're going to go into it like that, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah, I really don't know what to expect from the third one because the blurb is, I think, purposefully vague.
Yeah,
as well on it.
Yeah, you'll understand why after you read it.
And I'm kind of like, that just makes me want to read it even more now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been, as I say, I would have gone straight onto it in July had I had the time, but I knew that I wouldn't get to properly through it before Garb August started, so I thought, no, leave it. And that's definitely one for September. That's absolutely must be read for September.
That's cool. Well, I'll still be reading it through the month.
Oh yeah, cool.
Well. But I will do a video on them because I do think, well, like we're saying, Children's Time is so ridiculous, but also Children of Ruin was really good. So
yeah, it was really good.
It's definitely worth talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna do like a full series wrap up when I've finished those.
And also, when I've read Bearhead, I want to do one on Dogs of War and Bearhead because Dogs of War is fantastic.
I say I've not read it. These are the first kind of proper Tchaikovskys that I've read. I'd only ever read Walking to Aldebaran before.
Yeah,
and that's what made me want to read more of his stuff because I really liked his writing and his voice, and I like the humor. His very British humor, and of course, I really enjoyed that novella. So I was like, yeah, I need to read some more of this. Plus, Troy had been saying, "Be Children of Time, read it."
Oh, nice. But he writes a book every 5 minutes, doesn't he? It's like,
he's like the Brandon Sanderson of sci-fi now, right? I mean, he's just like, constantly like while he's like eating a sandwich, he's typing. I think it's like
he's like fucking out another book. Oh, that was excellent. So Jenny, let's go back to this for a second. So Jenny says, "Torch is just a handheld light source." Yeah. So that's like a word for that, isn't it? However you're doing it. I love Life Ships. It's my favourite. So that's the second one, the second trilogy. Aaron says is better. Electric Torch, which got a shorter torch. Oh, there we go. Do I need to stick my fashion sense in here?
What's she talking about?
I don't know, but it sounds funny. Yeah, you can stick your fashion sense in here. Yes, MJ, please. So jeans are not pants. Oh, here we go. Jeans are not pants.
What are you talking about? These are pants.
It's gonna kick off on Voxer. I can see this.
Hey Gareth, try this. Back up, talk a little bit, and then come forward to the mic again. Talk a little bit. See if that fixes it.
Oh, have I gone funny again?
Yeah. Go back.
So back up, and then come back. This is good, like physiotherapy, isn't it?
I don't know. You did something before that fixed it. I don't know what it was.
Let's see if it happens naturally, and if not, sound like another term for fancy knickers.
Dress pants sound like another term for fancy knickers. Knickers,
yeah. Knickers of knickers or knickknacks here.
That's another name for pants?
Pants. You call them underpants, do you?
Underpants.
Say again?
What do you call pants?
Is that for Alex?
No, for you. No, he calls pants. But you must have another name because you're calling pants. You call trousers pants.
Well,
so
what are you calling pants?
Underpants.
What?
Underpants. Underwear.
Oh, underpants.
So what do you call it?
Underwear.
Yeah, I mean, we usually call those underwear.
Underwear. But Yeah, but specifically pants.
Or
men's underwear.
Or briefs. Underwear or briefs.
Types.
Briefs are a very particular type of pants.
Yeah.
Because there's briefs and boxers and various other varieties.
Yeah, that's true. I guess right. We call them briefs and boxers too. So yeah, we usually call them underpants.
Underpants,
yeah. We have a. Do you have Captain Underpants over there?
Captain Underpants.
Captain, yeah. I do know Captain Underpants. Yeah.
It's a comic strip. Is it a comic strip?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a comic strip. He's got. Yeah, I mean it's a comic. He's got books.
Yeah.
But it's like a comic.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's a children's book thing.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So MJ's on the march again. So jeans, pants, casual dress, sweats. Don't forget cargos.
Cargo pants. Yeah. That's true. And parachute pants. You guys have parachute pants over there?
Parachute pants?
Yeah. They were all the rage when I was a kid. What?
I assume parachutists do.
When I was a kid, they were really big. We wear parachute pants all the time.
Parachute pants.
Yeah, they were like I don't know how to explain them. They were kind of like
are they like so massive that you can use them as a
No, they weren't. They were just a different like material, and they had a lot of pockets, and they were like they were almost like a nylon-y, silky sort of material.
Oh, were they like shell suits?
I don't know what a shell suit is.
Gareth will know what shell suits are.
Yeah. Shell suits like, do you know Ali G?
Oh, you fixed it. You fixed it.
Hey, there you go. Patience, my friend. Is Ali G? Did Ali G wear a shell suit? Have I got that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you know Ali G character, I don't know if it's translated over there.
Or was it just a tracksuit? I'm not sure.
Oh, it might be just a tracksuit. Do you know what a tracksuit is, Dave?
LEG. Yeah, we usually call a tracksuit like they're like sweats.
Okay.
LEG.
We might as well have a different language.
Wait, who is it? LEG?
LEG. Yeah, it's like it's quite a clever thing that made Sacha Baron Cohen famous, where he would basically take the piss out of people he'd interviewed by giving them questions that made them look stupid. It's quite clever. And then he did Borat after that. And obviously you've probably known Peter.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
I mean, you could just put shell suit in a search if you're looking for
shell suits are a very particular kind of material.
Yeah.
Very shiny.
Yeah. The parachute pants were kind of like that, but they were kind of like that, but they had a lot of pockets.
So I've just got an image of someone diving out of a plane with massive trousers.
Yeah.
Make sure you got the parachute pants on in case your parachute doesn't work.
I'm going to have to head off imminently, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, your mentor is here.
Hey!
Troy is he's everyone's favourite man at the minute because obviously he's just spent a lot of time and effort doing the garbology, hasn't he? So
yeah.
I was driving when you mentioned Sean Connery, but it reminded me of Heinlein's line in Stranger Things of blaming women for their own sexual assault. So here we go. Yeah. Times have moved on.
Yes.
But apparently, I haven't read Stranger in a Strange Land, but I don't feel like it's something I need to read. Actually,
that's one of the few that I didn't like. I DNF'd that for my science fiction project.
Everything I hear from it sounds like so old-fashioned. It would just get on my nerves. Is that right? Is there a lot of that kind of thing in it?
It's mainly speechifying that I didn't like. Is that there was a lot of just characters kind of just going on and on and on with what I can only kind of assume is kind of Heinlein's position on things. Right. Some of the books it started off and it was quite a decent satire, and I kind of went, oh, this is good, but then it just got into just these kind of speechifying, and it just kind of became boring because it didn't feel like it was moving it along at all.
Right.
It's not necessarily that it was, not my politics or anything like that. I'm quite happy to read something that's different. It was just actually, to me, boring because of the amount of it.
The way it was written.
So yeah, it's one of those. And yeah, it's of that time. There was some stuff in it that, at least the part that I read, there was some stuff in it that was dated. But
yeah,
but as I say, I didn't get that far into it.
No, it's not that chunky. I mean, it's like normal size novel.
Oh, is it? I thought it was like 500 pages or something. Is it not?
No, it's not too bad.
No, it was, but I don't remember that. I mean, it was a long time ago. I don't remember that. I mean, generally, you know what I mean. I remember, but I don't remember these I don't remember these specifically chauvinistic comments. But I probably just don't remember it.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you don't notice it as much. Yeah, yeah. There's some weird things you hear about in some books, and you go, "Well, I read that, and I didn't notice it." Yeah. Pajama pants.
That's true.
Sorry, Alex, I'm not ignoring you saying you were going. I'm just thinking maybe there might be a comment from someone going back to something you've said. So maybe go through the comments, and then is that a good idea?
Say let's do that, and then I better head off. I've just heard Mrs. come in with the dog, so she'll be wanting to get to bed in a bit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Pajama pants. So what I should be wearing, but I'm not. It's too hot. It's still hot.
Pajama pants. Yeah.
Yeah. If you'd kept up, you'd know what I was talking about. She's having a cut me. MJ's been here for ages, an hour at least before you noticed. Yeah, well, we're chatting as well, my friend. If I just read comments, it would be pointless having a guest, wouldn't it? Let's face it. Yes, you get it a bit cheaper. You make a few. Oh, here we go. So you can get. So if you got the Occult Detective magazine from them, it's slightly cheaper, and they get more money out of it, which is good. But not outside the UK. That was with Bon Scott. I'm a big Bon Scott fan. Before he died. There are also album anthologies from Hotel California and Thriller. Oh, that's cool. I like this. I'm going to seek out these. That'll be good for the next Scar of August. No Life Ship has all new characters for some world.
Same world. Okay.
Right. She's like the Michelangelo of prose. Nice.
But not purple prose. Okay.
Yeah. She somehow tied it all together in the end. Cool. I mean, I've heard people just literally rave. I've never heard anyone say anything negative about it, really.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, I think that's the fair point. I think to make flash fiction worth reading, it's got to have impact with very few words, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Yes, I don't know what I'm talking about. I wasn't really sure what I was saying, to be fair. So that's fair enough. I thought I got the impression Robin Hobb was applauded for being a bit of a what's the word? Someone who brings in a new
pioneer.
Like a pioneer of female writers, but maybe not. Yeah, she's just really good at character. I think her pen name was chosen to be gender neutral, as a typical fantasy reader back then avoided female authors. So yeah, you have got that thing. That's kind of a historical thing, isn't it? So you start with Ship of Magic, put one of the Life Ship, and if you have to go back and read, and then go back and read Farseer. Life Ship is 10 times better. Okay.
Except that I already have 2 copies of Assassin's Apprentice and no copies of Ship of Magic. So
I sometimes find her stuff in charity shops. Haven't read Children of Memory yet, but I've stupidly started the Final Architecture now too, which is
I've got book one of that lined up.
Yeah, that Shards of Earth, is it?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Shards of Earth, yeah.
Shards of Earth and something void.
Yeah. Sometimes watch an old video and leave a comment before realizing that after as not the creator might never see it because the video was free. Yeah, well, yeah, but we do get a notification, so I think it's good when people do that. This is true what you say, you don't know what people are watching. Like, I look back, I was looking for something, I can't remember what I was looking in it, and I discovered that my book review of High Rise by J.G. Ballard has got loads of views, and it didn't have many views when I first put it up. So that does happen, doesn't it? Sometimes you don't realise. Oh, that's cool. So Dave says
cool.
Adrian Chuckles is a really nice bloke. That's good.
Cool.
One of the interesting things I know about him outside the books is that he plays D&D with Claire North. And I'm a big Claire North fan, so that's really cool. Heidi's asked, have you read any Pratchett?
I have read some Pratchett, but I didn't get into it. I think maybe I need to give it another shot. It's a long time since I read Pratchett. And I'm going to say one long time, I'm probably talking 15 years. And I just didn't like the first book that I tried, in the series. So I didn't go back to it. But it's one of those which I'm kind of like, I probably ought to go back to that because my reading tastes have changed. My kind of appreciation of certain humor types as well has changed. So it's on the ever-growing list of things to read again.
Unmentionables. I think that might be another word for power.
Yeah.
Parachutes are back.
Oh, you see that? I know what I'm talking about.
I need to look this up. I will look up Parachute Pants. Ali G was on HBO. Oh, there we go. So he has travelled over there. Troy says Heinlein even had a female character spouting that nonsense. He was a pig. Yeah, he doesn't seem like very admirable from an outsider's point of view. I'm surprised the Eagles didn't sue over the HC. Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't seem like nice people either. I know. Do you know that Glenn Frey and Don Henley only agreed to reform the Eagles if there was an agreement that they got loads more money than the rest of the Eagles? Twats. Jenny says, "Oof, my sub feed is now full of reviews for season 2 of Rings of Power."
Yes.
Okay, so clearly it's appeared. Yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? Right, this is the last comment, so this might be where we lose Alex. So Dave says, what people often don't get notifications of is replies to the replies. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then that would kill the conversation, wouldn't it? Yeah, because that's one of the nice things that when I like it when you see other people writing comments on other people's comments. Not just the people. Yeah, not just the content creators. That's quite cool,
absolutely.
So, have you got time, Alex, to just tell us what you're reading next?
What am I reading next? As in September. I've got I've got a few shorties, including some poetry and some short story collections and another ballad, and a few bits and pieces like that. A Max Porter. And then I'm also focusing on cleaning up some series that I've got on the go.
Oh, okay.
For September, it's series September for me. So, Children of Memory, finish that one off. Those two.
Oh wow!
Get those two done, so I can get onto the next one that's coming out in whenever October, November, and then continue on with some other series and start a couple of series. If I get through a few of the ones that I've got on the go, I'm allowed to start a new series or two.
How many series do you think you've got open?
In total, probably 15.
15 series
on the go.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Some of them are extremely long series because they're kind of, long crime thriller sorts things, or they're kind of trashy things that go on forever. So I kind of don't count those quite so much because you can dip in and out of those a bit easier. It's the shorter, slightly more contained series or stuff where it's complicated and I need to kind of keep up with the development that I really need to just kind of get through a bit on that. But funnily enough, my September Big Pile of Possibilities video is out tomorrow, Friday.
Cool. We can carry on with the conversation on your comment section
of what's coming next. Then that's where that will be tomorrow.
Brilliant. I just noticed that Jenny asked that, so I won't go back to the comments yet because I know you want to go. But
I don't want to go, but I have to go. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble.
Absolutely. It's been so brilliant having you on, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it's been great having you.
It's been brilliant. It's been really brilliant. I've enjoyed it. It's been fantastic first live stream, I have to say.
Yeah, you've never done one before, have you?
No.
Yeah. Well, you're natural at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're natural at it. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for inviting me on. And if you can bear having me back at any stage, then I will be more than happy to oblige. And I will promise I will bring biscuits.
Okay. You see that, people? He'll bring biscuits next time.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was going to say a whole selection of biscuits.
So anybody, if you're not already subbed, open up another window. Alex Unabridged.
Alex Unabridged. These videos are absolutely brilliant. So yeah. And I love the way you review books as well. It's very detailed, and you look at you've got like 5 categories, haven't you? And it's really good because I kind of I write a few notes, but I pretty much just talk without a framing thing. But I love the way you do it. It's really good.
Yeah. It's to help me get it in my head, to be fair, more than anything else.
Yeah. I'm too scatty. I don't actually get more confused about it that way. But I love
your mind and my mind work quite similarly, Gareth. On
this.
It's like we both have that. Lots of things going on at once.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got tons of voices in my head all the time. My internal dialogue is an absolute chaotic mess. Shut up.
But anytime. So I'd be happy to jump on at any point. It's been fantastic.
All right. Thanks for coming, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. See you later, everybody.
Right, so let's catch up with the comments. That was so cool, wasn't it? I really liked Alex a lot.
Yeah, he was great.
So we've got that one. And then so Heidi says, I liked Rings of Power. Sadly, Sauron is no longer handsome. That's interesting though, isn't it? Because you only really hear people slag it off. So Heidi liked it. Glenn Frey's Miami Vice as Don Henley is to Walden.
I don't get that.
No, I'm not sure. Glenn Frey was in Miami Vice. Jenny says, "Do you?" Oh yeah. So I wanted to ask him that because I knew I saw Jenny ask that. Megan, I'm super late.
Hey, Megan.
Let me just stop by. Hi, Megan. Jenny, damn, clearly. Oh, hold on, everyone. It's so easy.
Not me.
Yeah, I mean, you got a few series on the go as well. Haven't you?
I got a few open series. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've read the first of the first Law trilogy. I read the first one of the Expanse. I did have these open, but obviously I'm going to finish this now. It's just ultimately though, if you start reading a big series, you're either not going to read anything else, which seems a bit silly, isn't it? Or you're going to get behind. So.
I'm like, I'm one book in, like you, I'm one book into the Mistborn series. I am 2 books into the Shades of Magic series.
Oh, is that V. Schwab?
V. Schwab.
Yeah.
I am 2 books into the, what's it called? Is it Winter Night? I forget what they call the series. Is it Winter of the Witch series? Yeah, Winter of the Witch. Is that what it's called?
Who's that by?
Nightingale. It's by Catherine Arden. It started with the Bear and the Nightingale.
Okay. Oh, Bear and the Nightingale. I recognize that. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very original. It's I mean, it's a fantasy series that's based it's a lot of based on a lot of like Russian folklore, and it's it's really good. I loved it. It's incredibly atmospheric. You can because it's like in the winter and like the cold of Russia, and you could just like feel the cold. I mean, she did it really well. I loved it, and for some reason, I still only read the first 2. It's just one of those things. It's just like a trilogy is like you're talking like 1,200 pages. It just takes I just have a tough time getting through the series.
Yeah. So Heidi asked Jenny what she's reading, and Jenny says, I'm switching between Sherlock Holmes, Hitchhikers, yay, and the Silmarillion.
That's quite an assortment.
Yeah, it's quite different.
That's the way to do it, though.
Have you read all the Hitchhiker's books, Dave?
No, I only read part of the first one. I keep meaning to go back, get back.
Did you not like it, or?
No. I just didn't finish it. It was years ago, and then I have to start over, and I just never got to it.
Yeah,
I didn't do the book haul video yet, but I actually just picked up the first two, I think, in out in the wild at that book fair I went to.
Oh, brilliant!
So yeah.
No, I think they're absolutely evergreen books. I love them to death. Absolutely love them.
You read them all?
Troy's gone off to get some dinner. That was so cool. Troy was here, isn't it? Because Troy doesn't normally make it. We need to do it early enough for Troy to make it.
Yeah. Have you read all those
Hitchhiker
books? Oh,
yeah, okay. The sadly, I'd say the fifth one, Mostly Harmless, is massively disappointing. And I read up on it, and he was going through a proper depression when he was writing it, and I think you can tell it's not nowhere near as funny, and it's a little more like you got to sort of trudge through it a bit, but the other four are great, absolutely great. Good night, Troy. Aaron, I reckon I have over 20 series on the go.
Oh
wow. Almost never finished them. But then maybe people should stop having to go to George Martin if nobody finishes series anyway. If readers don't finish them. 30 or so series.
Wow.
Tons.
That's a lot of series.
So there's a reference to the songs they've used because there was Heat Is On was that's Beverly Hills Cop. Hold on, what was it? Glenn Frey had a song featured in Miami Vice, but he acted in it as well. But I don't know what Walden Woods is. What's Walden Woods?
I don't know.
Oh, I have to jet. Oh, see you later, MJ.
See you, MJ.
Dave says, back in my book sale days, I'd often discover a new series, get lots of customers into it, and end up way behind them in keeping up with it because I've found something new. Yeah, that's it. It's I don't know. It's like, oh, there we go. So just here, you belong. That's a great song. That is. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jackson Browne, and Jackson Browne and Glenn Frey were good friends, weren't they? So there is that. Here we go.
140. Wow.
I don't think Jenny's ever going to finish them.
No.
Oh, okay. Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah. Okay. What's?
Oh, okay. I'm going to look this up because that's interesting. Aaron says, I haven't read the last Game of Thrones book yet, so Martin still has time for me to catch up.
Have you read those, Gareth?
No, basically, I've got them, and then I thought I'd leave a gap between watching the series and reading it because then I won't have the series in my head. That was my theory.
Okay.
But I'm going to Croatia next February, and I'm hoping to meet Daenerys if I can.
You are?
I'm going to Croatia. Going on holiday with my mate, so that'll be fun. But a lot of it was filmed in Croatia. Dubrovnik. So MJ's definitely gone now, unless we call her back. MJ, what was that you were saying about? That's crazy, isn't it? The author has to finish the series before we can.
Yeah, that's right.
True. But I think I've said this before, I think, on the show, but I just think I don't blame him for struggling to finish it when everyone slagged him off for the plot lines of the TV series, because he definitely told them what the plot line was going to be. They might have speeded up how it's going to happen and might have made the details themselves, but he definitely would have given them, this is where I want it to go. and everyone slagged it off. So I think that's going to put him off writing it. Myself. He says bye to MJ. Yeah. So how have you found it doing it this early? Because this, like, did you have to leave work early today?
I did.
Is that like caused a hassle for you?
No, I mean, it's fine. But it was like, you know, my colleagues. I'm like, oh, I'll take it off. My colleague, she's looking at me. She's like, we get banker's hours, you know, like not even banker's hours. leave it like 3:00 my time, you know.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour difference in it, but I guess it's still very different in it because you can get in normally and like probably settle in a little bit in it, and it's probably a bit of a rush for you today.
Yeah, well, because normally I can leave the office at 5. You know, which is technically, I mean, normally I would stay later than that, but that's technically close of business, right? So I can leave the office at 5 and I'm home in plenty of time for the live stream. But yeah.
Did you normally have tea after, like, your dinner? Do you normally have that after the live stream?
Tea? What do you mean tea?
Like your evening meal?
Oh yeah, no, I usually just eat after. Yeah. Sorry, hold on one sec.
Yeah. I'll go through these sec. So Dave says, I wasn't specifically talking about George Martin. There are loads of series currently running. Yeah. Well, that's true, but I think he seems to be the most controversial one because lots of people think he's not going to finish it. But yeah, there are loads of people that need to finish the series. Isn't there some controversy about Patrick Rothfuss not finishing a series or something? I don't read his stuff, but I heard that on, I think it was Daniel Green's channel. He was saying there was some upset about the fact that Patrick Rothfuss hadn't finished the series. Is that right? Tell me in the comments if that's true. I think so. What do you do for a living? Are you an attorney? I'll let him answer that. But yeah. Diane says, just dropping in to say hello. Hi, Diane. Jenny said, I don't need to let Dave read this because that's unfair. Yeah, I'll wait for Dave. But yeah, I just, my problem with the whole series thing is that I just don't retain information as well as I'd like to, and that I've definitely got that issue with. Maybe not the Expanse one because some of that's still fresh in my head, but that's definitely true for the Joe Abercrombie one I read. Yeah, that sounds like Dave's back. So Dave, there's.
Sorry.
That's all right. Heidi's just asked you this. What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living? Yeah. How did you know I was an attorney? That's what I want to know. Yeah. So I'm an IP attorney, intellectual property. So I do patents, trademarks, copyrights, but I'm mostly a patent attorney. I mostly work on patents. So I'm curious how she knew I was an attorney.
Yeah,
can you tell me?
I don't know if you've ever said anything that makes it sound like you were. So that's interesting.
I always say I'm only like I'm like a quasi attorney or halfway attorney because like half of what I do is like technical stuff. Like I do litigate in court, like I go to trial and do hearings and stuff like that. But I also half of my time is spent like writing patents, which is not very lawyery. You know, I'm like talking to inventors and writing, patent applications. So
that's so awesome. But you're also self-employed, aren't you?
Yeah.
So Jenny says Dave is a professional smut proofreader.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, hi Diane. Did I miss that one? Hi Diane.
Yeah. So this is going back to that thing with people not finishing something. I did mention Patrick Rothfuss, and Aaron says he's worse because he will say there's something new and then republish something old. Yeah. So that's kind of winding people up.
I saw a video of his one. So that's another one that I read just because it's so long, The Name of the Wind. I read half of it. I'm going to have to like start over now because I didn't finish it. But I understood that those were, I mean, look, he's probably never going to finish, but I understood that like those were worth reading, like regardless, you know? So I went ahead and have you read it?
No, but I do think I've got the first one actually in the loft in this famous loft. But I do agree that surely when people go, I'm not even going to bother reading it if they haven't finished the series. Surely it's about the journey anyway. I mean, surely every book should be worth reading in itself, regardless of if there's an ending.
Yeah, but I guess I guess it depends on the book, like because some of these books they're written as trilogies, so you don't actually get closure unless you read the entire trilogy.
Yeah, true.
So that's frustrating. But I mean, a lot of them are not like that. Like these other ones that like Children of Time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's an ongoing series, but every book has like complete closure.
Yeah.
You're totally satisfied. You could end there.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I was shocked when there was a second one. I was like, oh, really? Because it's such a perfect ending in the first one. It was so complete. So that is weird when that happens. But and it's better when that happens, isn't it? Because one of the things I didn't like about the first Joe Abercrombie one, the first the Blade itself, it wasn't until like literally about 30 pages before the end that the plot started happening, and it's like, really, you're gonna wait that long? So that was a bit cheeky. Heidi says, drop everything and start a Dance of Dragons tonight. Jenny did a charity event and promised the first chapter and then didn't produce it.
Oh yeah, but what I was gonna say, is she talking about Rothfuss right now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I saw him do like a video one time where he literally like was like welling up, like he was like, crying just like a little bit, just because from all like the I guess he struggled, to finish that up, and he's gotten so much pressure and hate over not and I think it's a complicated issue, I don't think it's a simple issue actually. Some people will say they don't owe you anything. Other people will say, well, if they asked you to, spend time and money on their book, they should know that you're expecting it to be finished, right? So there's two sides of the issue. I think it's not easy, but anyway, he was like literally getting all teary because of just all the pressure that he felt and all the hate he was getting for not finishing it, So I suspect that he never will at this point,
Yeah,
but
I do find, because I haven't read anything by him, I'm definitely looking at it from an outsider point of view, but I do find it kind of interesting. And if he's trying to write it and he can't, then you got to have sympathy for him if it's something he literally can't do. But I mean, Aaron was saying that it's annoying because he's releasing other things. I read A Feast for Crows, so I think I need to start again. Yeah, that's George Martin, isn't it? Feast for Crows.
Yeah.
This is Eri saying that she was peer pressuring you to go to a book sale. Plethora of vintage science fiction.
Yeah, she did.
Did you get some good stuff?
No, I didn't go. She sending me email like, hey, there's this awesome looking book sale like right near you. And I'm like, what are you doing to me, Eri? I'm going to get in trouble. I didn't do the video yet, but I just did such a huge haul at this book fair. I went to it. I would seriously get in trouble if I went to another one right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that I really want to go. There's another meetup happening this time going further north. I'd love to go, but I've spent so much money recently, I can't justify it. It'll be really cheeky for me to go, oh, I want to go do this now.
And then like next month, you'll do a big loft unhaul and get rid of half of them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to do. Yeah, but clearly it's dangerous up there now, so I don't know what to do with all that.
Your wife's probably like, "Why are you buying all these books and then just getting rid of them? Just go buy them to begin with."
Yeah, that's a complicated one. Dave says, "I know what you mean. I have trouble if I finish a book late, go to sleep, then try to write the review the next day. I often have to read it." Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. If you're reading when you're tired, you're not taking everything in, are you? Anyway.
Yeah. Right.
That's another thing. Oh, Aaron didn't like Name of the Wind.
Okay.
That's the famous one, though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the first one. I mean, I liked the half that I read, but in fairness, I didn't finish.
I was a quasi attorney. Oh yeah. So this is talking about your job. You mentioned it somewhere in one of your videos. I think you might have said something in one of your videos about Trump. When you did the ones that were written by his. I think you might have said something then. I was a quasi attorney too in another life. Personal injury to banking law to just banking. Now stay at home. Special needs man. Special needs mum. Oh wow. Oops. I refuse to start King Killer till the last one comes out. Yeah. Well, if you've got loads going on, that does make sense. All 10 First Law books is one continuing story. The Blade Server is a prologue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I get if you had that intention, I get it, but I just think a book should be a thing in itself as well. I think it's a little bit cheeky.
10.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them now.
Really?
It wasn't initially a trilogy, but I think it just kept adding to it.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. There's a couple of trilogies that took years between the 3 books, and I can't remember them well enough to not need to reread the first one. Refused to touch them until the 3rd book was out. Yeah. I mean, trilogy used to be like a standard thing, didn't it? And now there's like 10, 12, 15, 16 books.
When you got a commercially successful thing, it's hard to drop it,
Marilyn Robinson took 24 years between her first and second books. Yeah, well, I bet she reread her first book.
Yeah, well, what's her name? Atwood. How long was it between those 2 books?
That's like 60 years or something, wasn't it?
Not 60, but it was a long time.
A long time, yeah. One was the Rook series by Daniel O'Malley. I really need to get back to those. Oh, okay. I don't know those. Do you know those?
No, I don't know those.
Al's here.
Hey, Al.
Nice one. Thanks for popping in. We're kind of closing up, but nice to see you. He's big and he's hard. Okay, so Al says that he enjoyed that.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. I love that. Name is very music intense. Someone's character. Oh, okay. I like that. That's quite unusual to use music in fiction as a plot point. Yeah, the most common thing you might get a musician as a character, but you don't really get music used in other ways. So that's quite cool. There's a really good Frankenstein trilogy that's the same sort of thing. I need to reread it from the start, but I can't remember the name of the author. Frankenstein trilogy. Was that Brian Aldiss? He did some Frankenstein stuff.
I don't know.
Might be. I might start more when I get home.
Yeah, can't have less than 100 open series.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. Yeah, I was talking about. Someone might be able to tell us what the gap was.
It's got to be. Actually, it's probably close to 40 years because I think Handmaid's Tale was mid 80s, 84, something like that.
Yeah.
And the Testaments. Well, the Testaments came out a couple years ago, so probably a little less. Probably like 35 years. Something like that.
I was thinking about Harper Lee. That's what I was thinking about. Harper Lee was a big gap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Between Kill a Mockingbird and Go Set the Watchman.
Yeah.
I was just made a point is that this is we usually go about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, but we're trying to shorten them, but we're not really doing that much, are we? But we did talk about shortening them to 2 hours, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, he might be wondering because we started early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we started.
Oh yeah, he might be thinking it's just started. Yeah.
We started a couple hours earlier today, Alan.
Yeah, that's the Caleb Gwynn took 30 years to do the FC ones. Yeah. Yeah, she kind of kept dipping into it. In her later years, it's funny, she just kept writing short stories. I think that's really interesting. Yeah, most of her books were all written in her early career. So it's 10-4 for him. Yeah, I know there's a bigger gap, isn't it? So no, it wasn't Aldic, it was more recent. Don't know what it was. It's 34 years between the Mother Apple books, yeah. So Megan lives near Al, maybe.
Yeah, they're on the west US,
yeah, it's almost midnight for us. So yeah, I'll be up for a little while longer. I actually had a bit of a kip earlier.
Boy,
you know what a kip is now, don't you?
Yeah. That's everybody. That's a nap.
Because I've been literally, like, it's really knocked me out going back, and every night this week I've just literally fallen asleep as soon as I got in, and just wasted the whole evening. So I didn't want to fall asleep before the show. So I thought, well, if I set an alarm and just have a couple of hours before that, so I did that. So that was good. 36 years between The Shining and Doctor Sleep.
That's another one.
Yeah, and he didn't have to do that, did he? I mean, he's raking in loads of money all the time.
Yeah,
but he must have.
The thing is with sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Finish.
No, I was only going to say he must have just wanted to write Doctor Sleep, creatively.
Yeah.
Go on. What was you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was going to say with gaps that big, like they are a completely different writer by the time they write the second book, right? Like that's what's weird about it. Like,
especially Stephen King, because obviously he had like loads of addiction problems, and he had all sorts of things going on when he was younger, and now he's quite different, isn't he?
Yeah.
William's here. Awesome.
Oh, hey, William.
Hi, mate. The Handmaid's Tale was published in 1985. The Testament was published too. Yeah. So a big gap. The Dark Tower, that went across a lot of his career, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a long time.
Heidi talks about. I need to. I don't know where I can get hold of it. I do really want to hear this because I genuinely like Harlan Ellison's voice, even though usually he's really angry and obnoxious, and not always right. He always thinks he's right, but I don't think he's always right. But I love his voice, and the idea of him narrating the Earthsea books is amazing. And how he keeps saying it's brilliant. So I do need to get hold of him, but I don't really know where to start as far as getting it. Must be something I can buy, I guess. But yeah, no, you're right, Heidi. I need to do it, and I'll try and do it so that it makes you happy. No, absolutely. Two of my favorites put together. If you ever you can listen to Harlan Ellison reading his own stories on YouTube, Dave.
Okay.
So have you read, or do you know Repent Harlequin Said the TikTok Man?
I haven't read that. I've heard you talk about it, but
it's my favorite. And you can hear him read it on YouTube. It's so cool.
Okay.
He's got a really, I don't know, there's something about the way he says it. He's like, it's a bit kind of sneery, know. And I think he kind of writes with a sneer. He's a strange man, or was a strange man. David Frankenstein, A Life Beyond. That's what it was, by Pete Planisek. Don't know him. Do you know him?
No.
Heidi says she wishes King took years between those later ones, so a bit rushed.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the ending of the Dark Tower books, do they? I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another Vote for the King video coming up. In about a week's time. I think I'll hold up another 3 books and say which one should I read. And I'm kind of hoping the one that people vote for is The Dark Half, but I don't know. I'll see what people say. The last one, the first time I did it was The Long Walk, and that was really good.
Yeah. What are the other options?
The Dark Half, Eyes of the Dragon, and I can't remember what the other one is. And Blaze, which is one of his Richard Bachman ones. There's a crime one. So see what people think. Dave says Harlan boasted to me that he could do a perfect English accent. He couldn't. Yeah, I mean, Harlan, I've always, all of my life, I've collected this stuff ever since I was a kid, and he's one of those people that comes up a lot in conversation if you're into, you know, the classic kind of great science fiction people. But he was probably an absolute nightmare, you know. I don't know. Last book really split the fans, either love or hate, no middle ground. That was, what's this about again?
The Dark Tower, no?
Oh yeah. No middle ground. Okay, so some people loved it. The dark half is cool. Yeah, well, I know that he was dealing with a lot of stuff when he wrote as well. I really want to, because, you know, the project, the Vote for the King idea is for me to read the rest of the ones that I own that I haven't read yet. And I do really want to read that one. So I'm hoping that I get voted, but I'm just going to go with whatever people say. Eerie said a former boss worked for Harlan Ellison's publisher. He was Ellison's handler for a crazy weekend in the 70s. He lost him in Studio 54. I mean, that's the other thing with Harlan Ellison. He kind of treated his career like a rock and roll star, didn't he? Yeah. Even though he was an author. Not supposed to do that. But then Charles Adams was like that. When I read the biography of Charles Adams, it was really fascinating that the guy was a cartoonist, and there's all these people that wanted to date him, and he even had he started dating Jackie Onassis at one point. It's just really weird. There's this like life he had, and he was just a cartoonist.
Yeah,
it's amazing. William says it took 17 years for Eric von Lasbarder to publish book 5, the finale of the Sunset Warrior series. I don't know this at all. The other 4 books came out. And do you know those books?
No.
Jay says handler makes him sound makes him sound like a hyper puppy. Dave says his English accent was a Scouse Cockney. What? A Scouse Cockney from the Black Country with a touch of the Queen's English. So an absolute mess. That's what you're saying. So, yeah, I don't know if you know that he's referencing loads of different parts of England. A Scouse accent is a Liverpool accent, Dave. Yeah. Jackie O. Yeah. It was such an interesting biography of Charles Adams. And who was it? There's someone that went around his house. Who was it? There's someone that just visited him just to meet him, and it was somebody like ridiculously iconic. He had this sort of thing about him that people like thought he was really special. Right, so there's people going.
Eerie.
Or Erie's going. Oh, so Williams reviewed the book. Oh, we'll have a look at that video. So he's reviewed that book series. So I'll have a look. I've never heard of him. That'd be cool. So I'm aware that you've wanted to shorten these sessions, Dave. Should we? Because we've got to the end of the chat. Should we call it a day?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
I mean, this was progress for us getting it down to 3.
Yeah, it was. It was. This is very unusual.
I mean, baby steps, right?
Well, I don't know. I quite like the fact that we go on forever. I thought it was great, but I do get it. And we've never really done it so there's no one in the chat. Do you know what I mean? We've usually carried on, and there's been people. I mean, there's 15 people in at the minute, which is cool.
You know, we have to do like 15 minutes before we're gonna leave. We have to say, all right, well, we're wrapping up. Thanks for coming, everybody. And then, like, gradually over 15 minutes. And I'm like,
That's brilliant. Well, I mean, I've been on my own in about 2 weeks, so this is nice to have some company. I've got some more comments. There's loads of now. There was one series of one season of a TV series of Daniel O'Malley's The Rook. Oh, okay. But all the humor of the book was lost. Don't know that at all.
Sometimes it's hard to translate.
White Dudes for Harris. I am loving American politics at the moment. Al, it's so lovely to see what sounds like common sense coming from American politicians. It's amazing.
From some of them.
Yeah. It's amazing. Literally over here, America politically sounds balmy a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? With the whole gun thing and like the foreign policy, when they like the world's police, or all that sort of stuff. It's so nice to hear, things like, people, the sort of pro-choice thing, the thing against banning books, the thing is, it's just stuff they're saying is so refreshing. Great, love it. And they're really good speakers as well. A lot of the people, like Kamala Harris and oh my God, what's his name? Hold on. There's the vice.
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz, yeah. Tim Walz. And there's a Peter somebody as well. Begins with G. And Spencer, what is it?
Who?
I can't remember. There's a couple of other people as well. And they're just really good speakers as well. It's just great watching it. I love it.
Okay.
Really enjoying it. Hours off.
See y'all.
Keep going until we all go to bed. Well, that was the theory before, but we're trying to. I say we're trying to. We were kind of, sort of, talking about trying to make them shorter. Thanks, Megan. Really appreciate it. It's been a really lovely, chilled night tonight, isn't it? Because sometimes we get into a thing like with Pat, and when we did my birthday one, and we kept talking to Brian from Bookish about Brown's sauce, Daddy's sauce, and all that. Sometimes it can be a bit more like wild, can't it? It's been like a real nice, chilled one tonight.
It's been pretty chill.
Yeah. Harris will have a Republic on her cabinet. Said so today. We'll have a Republican in her cabinet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the guy. Yeah, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't begin with G, begins with a B. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sure does. Sure does. So I can go get some work done.
Dave's going to be on the show soon, so he's going to get a reply to his email very soon. We're going to talk about it in more detail. But yeah, we wanted to use the opportunity to talk about the magazine. So we have talked about it. So it'd be nice to see Dave. I mean, we talk to Dave through emails and all this sort of stuff all the time, but it'd be nice to have him on screen, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
Yep. Definitely.
So that'd be cool. So Alce is Peter, but I can never say his name. What did you say his name, Dave?
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg is a genius. Well, yeah, I love watching him speak. It's brilliant. We're here to distract. Yeah, I know you keep making comments. But no, it's awesome. So yeah, just it seems a bit of a shame to stop chatting when we've got 11 people in the room, but it's all right. I could do with some more food anyway, and another cup of tea. I was going to tell you that I've brought this as well. I've had these ready to go as well. So
sweet chili and sour cream. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they're very nice, and I really like the texture of kettle chips. So they're a brand of crisps that we call chips, just to confuse the whole thing about our language. But they're really nice. There's like I think they're called kettle chips because you can really taste the oil in. Do you have kettle chips over there?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I might start them in a minute. I don't know. Yeah. So Heidi says, "Is Dave the next guest?" So what we got? We're in September. Might be. Yeah, might be. It might be this one or the one after, isn't it? So
yeah, probably the one
we'll
after,
have to
right?
talk to Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea was going to be before October. So yeah. He says, "You have to tell me what software I need to do this." It's really simple.
You don't need software.
Yeah.
Just a browser. We'll send you the link. You click the link. It'll open up on your browser.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Alex is here.
Yeah. Yeah. Good night, Al.
He can type quietly. Don't type too loudly. Just that soft touch the keyboard.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Yeah, don't laugh. Jenny says, Chrome Dave At least you do on a Mac. Oh, okay. So Google. Yeah, I always use Google Chrome anyway. To be fair, some things just don't work on other things, so it's quite reliable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bottom of a hobgoblin in the fridge, waiting for awesome. Right. Okay.
All right. Sweet.
Nice. Yeah. So that's it. What time is it? 12:10. Yeah. So I can't go to the shop now. But I've got milk. I can have a cup of tea. It's all good.
And you got enough to make an egg sandwich?
Yep.
All right.
I'll be doing that.
There you go.
And I might actually make a ham sandwich as well. Might go crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You could make I just a few days ago I made an egg and ham sandwich. You can make yourself one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. My son likes doing that. Whenever he says, "Do you want an egg sandwich, Dad?" and he goes off to make an egg sandwich, he'll come back and it's an egg and ham sandwich. No, egg and bacon sandwich. That's what he likes. He always makes an egg and bacon sandwich. But he won't he won't cook the bacon for 6 hours like Americans do.
Yeah. No. You gotta be safe, man. You can't eat it raw.
I wouldn't eat it raw.
I've discovered you can do it real quick in the air fryer. It's like that's my new method.
Yeah, that's cool. We need to do some cooking videos.
Oh, Chipmunk's back. Oh.
Okay. Well, maybe that's our sign. Let's leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Everybody. Thanks a lot.